when 900 years old you reach, look as good you will not.
Gemma knows every truth, behind every lie, inside every secret. She's the gatekeeper.
Chewy, you ready for this?
I'm down and ready.
Let's rock and roll.
Lurch.
Do it.
You're the gatekeeper, buddy.
Do it. I got a
Lurch
pocket
is
full
the
of keys.
gatekeeper.
I got a pocket full of keys. The keys to your heart.
Oh, how sweet.
Welcome back, you freaky, deaky Sons of Anarchy fans.
Freaks on leashes.
That's right. We are too, of course. Love the show. Into it. Of course, we bring a little insight for you guys because we are actual members of a motorcycle club. A law-abiding biker motorcycle club. Of course.
Of the motorcycle majority, the
99%, boys.
There you go, buddy. Of course, we do the year-round podcast, weekly podcast, and we welcome you all of that. But during the SOA season, we do the extra podcasts, and hope you guys are enjoying them. Welcome aboard.
We enjoy having you.
Speaking of year-round, my bike is trash. This riding in the winter is BS. I tried to wash it, but it just turned into a big old ice cube.
Well, you know what? You need to fix that, bro.
I need a heated garage with a drain in the floor.
There you go.
And we are live doing the SOA podcast. So if you're listening to this in podcast format later, we do have the new live. If you want to get involved with that, it's a really cool inside look to behind the scenes. Any screw ups or anything like that we do, it's raw. And you can get that over at lawabidingbiker.com/live. Really quick, I made a sign up sheet over there for you guys. And it's a email list. And so if you go to lawabidingbiker.com/live, there's an email list there, and you can sign up there with that is a very specific list. And the only thing you will get if you sign up for that list is you will get notified of the times and dates that new live content is coming out. Again, lawabidingbiker.com/live, there is a sign up email list there. And that's all I'm going to give you guys on that list. Our regular email list is just lawabidingbiker.com/email club. That's the main list where you get, offers once in a while, and you get all our free videos I send you when we do new free videos, and I kind of keep in touch. But I wanted a list just for those that want to be alerted to new live content and when it's going down, and a quick link that you can just hit and start listening. So if you want to get involved with that, if you're on the live page right now or you're listening in the podcast, just head over there and get signed up. I do have a cold, and I'm trying to get through that, guys. So if I clear my voice like that a little bit, it's not normal for me, but it's going to happen today. But I took it easy on my voice here the last couple hours so that we could at least get this out to you. It is time sensitive. We've got a lot to talk about. And so these guys showed up late at my house because I had to work all day, and they're here late, but we knew that we wanted to get it out. The chat room, we're going to be monitoring that. We've already told you guys. So
got it on.
That's one of the cool things about live. If you guys ever get a chance to go over live, you listeners, head over there and check that out.
Hit us up.
Shall we dive into this crap?
Let's do it.
All right, so let's talk about Season 7, Episode 11 is what we're covering, and that aired November 18th, which was last night, Tuesday, 2014, titled Suits of Woe. Mm-hmm.
Little Hamlet there, Shakespeare.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Don't know. Was that a...
I Googled it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah,
I was going to say, you're not that smart.
No, it's Shakespeare. It comes from Hamlet. Well, I'm not that dumb either, but
right.
I'm not a thespian.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. The thespian, yeah. I love it, dude. Was that a book or something, or what?
Hamlet? Hamlet was a play.
No, not Hamlet, but the Suits of Woe. Was that one specific?
It's a saying. It's part of something inside Hamlet, and I'm still looking at it. I'll bring it up here once I've...
don't ask me. No.
Gotcha.
That's where it came from. I'll give you a little reference here in a moment.
All right, let's start opening scene here, guys. This is Gemma again talking at the table to herself.
She's talking to Tara.
It is Tara.
Tara's at the end of the table.
Before we dive into it,
cycle.
before we get into that, do you want me to give you a little reading from Hamlet?
Please.
The Shakespeare play Hamlet.
Oh,
This is
nice.
Hamlet speaking to Claudius, and here's what he says. Seems, madam, nay, it is, I know not seems. 'Tis not alone my inky cloak, good mother, nor customary suits of solemn black, nor windy suspiration, I can't even say that word, suspiration of forced breath, no, nor the fruitful river in my eye, nor the dejected haviour of the visage, together with all forms, moods, shapes of grief, that can denote me truly. This indeed seem...
All right, you're done.
I'm almost there. For they are actions that a man might play, but I have that within which passeth show. These but the trappings of the suits of woe.
The suits. The only thing I understood in that whole thing was suits of
I
woe.
was just say you might as well be speaking Spanish to me, dude, because I have no clue.
We're apparently not.
I can't believe we understood that in high school. I probably didn't understand it in high school.
The problem is they talk like Yoda.
When 900 years old you reach, look as good you are not.
They spoke a little bit backwards and out of turn at times. So if you can speak Yoda, then you can speak a little bit of Shakespeare.
Right. A podcast it is.
A podcast it is. Listen, you will.
All right, so Gemma's
on.
at the table talking to Tara. Juice is in jail talking to himself. This is that whole opening scene. So these two, or they're both talking to Tara. Who knows? Mm-hmm. Jax is sitting next to Abel's bed. This is where it left off from last episode, which was episode 10, where we ended with Abel telling him that, hey, Grandma, is this why Grandma killed Mommy? So they pick right back up there is the way it looked to me.
Yeah, he stayed up. Stayed in the room all night.
Seems that he sat on the floor and
Watched
kind
his son
of
sleep.
digested what he just heard.
Mm-hmm. Good call.
Trying to mull it through his mind.
All right, Wendy and Jax sit at the kitchen table, and this is where she's all hot and bothered that he broke down, and he's such a good guy that he told his son the truth about who his mom was.
Great,
He's a
all of a sudden, he's a great individual, great dad.
Yeah,
he loves me.
Hey, there's a time for forgiveness for everybody, Chewy.
I guess so.
The Lord forgives everybody.
And it was that
Chewy.
time. I guess that time.
I don't think Jax has got right with the Lord yet, though. No. I don't even think the good Lord can find it hard to forgive Jax.
You're right.
Yeah.
I think the Lord is thinking on that one.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure the Lord would forgive him if he asked. But
I think he'll give that one to the devil.
He's a long ways away from
He'll be in hell taking corn cobs up the ass for the rest of his existence.
He may get a mayhem vote here.
Yeah.
Oh, it's possible.
You're right.
It's possible for what he did.
Yep. Which we're going to dive into.
We'll get
well, it
into
looks
that,
like in
won't
the
we?
next episode, he actually is ready to, he tells them, that he had lied. And so basically he murdered their president and, lied to him.
The way they see it.
Right. But
we
the way
know.
we see it, he was going for a gun to kill Jack. So I say it's self-defense, but anyways.
Right. And it might have been, but like I say, that Indian Hills chapter, they didn't see that.
No,
so to them,
no way.
It's going to be interesting, and we'll dive a little bit deeper into that here in a moment. So Jax, he looks blown and surprised when she tells him she spilled it about Juice, right? That she
because he's just
came
trying
out of
to
rehab.
Yeah, and he's trying to think how does first, her coming out of rehab, but how does Juice end up in your apartment? How is that?
Yeah, I think that's what he was surprised about.
He's like, did you allow him to do that?
So yeah, he's starting. This is the episode, I have to say,
pretty dark. Episode. Pretty dark.
It is, and I want to say that they really, to me, rush things in this episode because it's not the usual episode. To me, the usual episode is you have a lot of. It takes a long time to get to things.
Yes,
there was no wasting time today,
and there was not a whole lot of action, a lot of drama, a lot of Hey, he's finding out a lot of information. A lot of the people, a lot of the actors in the show were finding out a lot of information about what was going on and what's happened.
Right.
So,
and the way I see that is they're wrapping and it's crunch time. And so it's not usual though. I don't know if you guys know what I'm saying overall.
They shoved a lot in. They shoved 10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound sack.
Yeah, there you go.
They put a lot of it in there.
That's why we have Lurch here.
That's right. He's always got he's the Mr. One-liner. Love it. But, usually it takes time to get to there. But this was just like, okay. And then Juice just plain thinks about it for 2 seconds and then just spills his guts.
Actually, I really enjoyed the episode.
Oh, I did.
I mean, it was a dark episode. A lot of, bad things being told and people having to accept things. But it's pretty good.
As Denzel Washington said in Man on Fire, I wish you had more time.
I wish you had
Beautiful, Lurch. Thank you for that little addition. Was that your Denzel Washington voice?
No.
Well, it sounded like it.
Nah, he's got way too much swagger. I don't have that.
Swagger.
I mean, he just walks. I mean, when he walks, he's cool. The guy exudes coolness. I'm not that cool.
Dude, when Denzel Washington takes a step, dude, this is what you hear.
Yeah.
And then he stops.
You're in the office,
and then
Jakey.
He starts walking again.
Going up.
Oh, yeah.
Living the thought.
All right. Anyways, back to what we were talking about. So, yeah, she breaks it down, and she just apparently isn't very good at keeping secrets like the rest of them, and it was just eating her up, and so she had to tell him what was going on. Now, I wanted to note this little scene. I had to rewind it, but I picked it up. I think it's very important.
It's huge. It's huge.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't just me.
No, I kind of went, whoa, okay, yep, I told you they're getting back together.
Yeah, well, tell the audience why we believe that, what was said.
Well, yeah, I heard it too when he left, and he says, "You take care of our kids,
Our boys.
You watch our boys."
Right. So he's leaving out the door, and he says, "You stay and take care of our boys."
Yeah. And I was waiting for him to give her a kiss after he said that because I'm like, okay. Taps her on the shoulder a little bit and then walks out.
Well, I don't know if she needs any kisses. She's got that.
Dude, she's been doing that long enough.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's never replaced for the real thing, dude. Come on.
She was looking pretty hot on Anarchy afterward.
Not bad, yeah.
Drea was on there.
I don't notice these things anymore because I've been married for several years.
Drea
But
de Mateo.
You notice them.
She's a decent looking female.
That's just because your wife was sitting next to you.
She's the one that pointed out that she was double clicking the mouse in the last episode. I was trying to make some show notes, have some things to say, and I had my head down, and she had to wake me up and tell me to look up because Wendy was all by herself in bed having a little fun.
Had the old vibrator. But I think that's pretty important that she says our boys.
Well, it's huge.
Or he says, that's to me to look into that is it's Jack's acceptance that this is the way it's going to be. He's accepted it. He's accepted that she's back into their life and she's going to be mom. And in turn, it let her know in without just coming out and going, okay, you're good to go.
And Wendy's down like a clown, man. She don't care. She's down for all of it.
She is.
Tara used to try and change him and make him better. She just accepted him for the way he was.
Right.
She still loves him.
Although I think she's
always has.
I think she's a bit more, and I'm probably going to get shot from the audience, listening audience on this. Some people like Tara. I think Wendy's a lot more honest person than Tara.
And she fits Jax better.
I just think she's more honest in a way that, okay, she's had drug problems and stuff, but whatever. She's never really been one to keep secrets, huge secrets. And okay, she kept Juice, but then she told the truth. You know, and she really wasn't involved with that. That was Gemma's deal. And even later in the episode, we see her say, you know, I can't keep that. It'll tear me up, Gemma. Yep. That stuff tears me up. And basically, I'm not like you. Maybe that's why her and Jax didn't fit so well in the past, is what I'm thinking. Let's get right into, let's listen in here. Jax heads to Unser's trailer.
And I got to tell you, I'm beginning to dislike this man.
Who?
Unser.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
Because of how, I mean.
I like him. Because he finally stands up to these
Well,
fools.
no, that's not what I'm saying. He knows Gemma's behind all this garbage.
He can't prove it yet.
And he's just.
He's working that way, man. Wayne's coming back around.
Well, he's like, even later on the show, when the sheriff's asking him what's going on, oh, nothing. He's totally protecting Gemma.
Or is that how?
Because he wants Leatherface.
Isn't that the ultimate betrayal at the end, though? He finally turns on her. I think that's what's going to happen. But right now, we don't get to see that. He's working his way through it. I bet you in the end, he double crosses her.
Well, I hope so.
Goes against her, but because we don't expect him to.
This
and that's
last
what I've seen
episode,
with
he pissed me off a little bit.
Kurt wants you to think one thing and does another.
I like that subject matter, Chewy, that he's pissing you off. I have the exact opposite opinion, which is awesome. That's what I love about this show.
I just think he's protecting Gemma, which pisses me off because she's the reason, she's behind all of this garbage, the lies, the death.
Gemma knows every truth, behind every lie, inside every secret. She's the gatekeeper.
She's been the reason, all of her lies, the lies that she tells, the secret she keeps. And then he's trying to protect her.
I don't think that's the case. Let me tell you why.
Okay.
That's just me.
Okay.
I don't think he's protecting her. What I think he's doing, and we're going to find out, is he's investigating. Remember, he's still a special investigator.
And maybe he doesn't want her to die. He doesn't want Jax to kill her because he wants to be able to get the truth from her, maybe.
I think that he can't prove it. I think, Chewy. Okay. I think he believes that something is highly suspect. And as we see coming up in next episode, he's sitting with her, which we'll get into those upcoming scenes later. But he doesn't know yet. He's trying to piece it together. He has his high suspicions. It's kind of like us on the job. We know things, but yet that don't mean shit unless
it's not
you can
what
prove
you know.
it.
It's what you can prove, Jakey.
Exactly.
That's right.
That is right.
So here's the story.
Back to Denzel.
Yes.
Training day.
So I think that he's getting really close. I don't think he's trying to protect anybody except his own version of the integrity of the investigation in his world, because I believe he's the only one that's ever going to get to the truth. Jerry's not. Jax is going to get to the truth like he did. But I think on the outside, I think he's the only one that's going to be able to get to the truth. He knows that. And so he kind of keeps what information. Look at him. Look how close he is compared to everybody else that's solving this.
I took it as him protecting Gemma, and if he's protecting Gemma, that really ticks me off.
Right. And I really don't think he is.
Yeah,
I think he's upset.
You're probably right.
Let's listen into Jackson Unser. He goes to his trailer. He's pissed. He knocks on the door. They sit outside and have this little conversation.
I know you and Gemma have been helping Juice. I need to know how that happened.
What the hell told you that?
She said Gemma was helping him because she didn't want anyone else to get hurt. But why would Juice go to my mom in the first place?
Not sure how that all came together. I assumed they crossed paths somewhere. You know, by a weed shop or something.
That doesn't make sense. You were with my mom the night Tara got murdered.
Huh?
What was going on with her?
She was upset. She knew you were going to get picked up by the sheriffs.
Did she call you after she saw the Chinese?
Yeah. You know, after we found out what happened, she was wrecked. We both were. She didn't tell me what she saw. Only the club was privy to that. What are you digging at, son?
I need a face-to-face with Juice. Can you call Jerry, set that up?
You're kidding me, right? I mean, we know what you're doing with Juice. Using him to get close to Lynn.
This isn't about Lynn. It's about Tara.
Why should I help you, son, huh? You guys have done nothing but lie to me. The guy Juice and your mother ID'd, he wasn't even in the state.
What are you talking about?
Chris Dunn. Jerry found out he was in a Vegas drunk tank the night Tara was murdered.
I need you to get me in a room with Juice. Tell the DA it will get them the intel they need on Tara's murder. You can pull the video, watch the whole thing. Wayne, do you want the truth or not?
All right. I'll call Jerry. See if she can hook it up. But you burn me on this, Jackson, and there's no more loyalty. For your club and for your family. Understand?
Understood.
Yeah, something to realize is he's going to meet with Juice and he's going to talk. But what's funny is, he tells Unser, hey, I just want to meet with him. I want to talk to him. I got something we need to talk about. He goes, hey, if you can pull the videotape afterwards. He tells Unser that. Well, then several minutes later, after he clears with Unser, he goes over to Chibs and Tig and says, hey, get a hold of Tully, make sure that they pull the video on that, make sure it's that room is bought and it's not video, it's not camera, it's not going to be videoed. So
yeah, and that's
there he goes again.
That's what's pissing me off about Jax, and why I kind of am siding with Unser a little bit is because he goes out on a limb there. You can tell, and he's like, "This is it, man. You guys are freaking lying, cheating." And I'll go out on a limb, and I knew Jax right there. I don't know if you did, but I knew there's no way he's going to record that for Unser.
Yeah, and I thought,
I was like, you lying bastard.
And I was thinking for a minute, maybe he's going to get a confession from Juice. I thought maybe he'd talk to him, get a confession, maybe, and then kill him in the room.
Oh,
but then I started thinking, my thoughts started going, well, no, he's in a prison. He's actually checked in to go meet with him, so that can't happen.
Right. Exactly. Good call, because I thought that too. Yeah, he's getting a special meeting.
Right.
Tully's by in the room. Yeah, there's no way to hide that. Pretty awesome scene, though, because he's putting it together. He's obviously found out from Wendy a little piece to the puzzle about Gemma hiding Juice. Then he goes to Unser and he learns a little more piece of the puzzle that Chris Dunn, the Asian guy that he killed and stabbed in the head, was not even in the state at the time of the murder.
Yeah.
You can see the look on his face. That was a very intense scene. And Jax, you could tell, to me, really, really chewing on things, like just really starting to put it together. Like, okay, this is not cool, and it's not looking good for
Yeah, he's getting angry. You can
my mom.
You can see it. He's getting angry.
Totally. So why don't you pick up Lurch on where Juice, the guard comes in and tells him, hey, it is the thing with Tully is going down after breakfast, basically.
Yeah, he walks in and says that thing is with Tully's going down. He hands him, or he leads him out of the room and hands him a cell phone.
With a video recorder, right?
Yep, that's what we find out later on. So he comes into a room and Lynn's already handcuffed to a pipe, probably for water, who knows, whatever, something across the top of the room. He's handcuffed and he's standing on top of a chair. Juice sets up the video on the phone and goes over and sets it on something so that it record Lynn. So Lynn tells him, everything's going to be fine. Just tell the truth. Just tell us what's going on. And you don't have to give up the MC to make a deal with the Attorney General's office. So he gives him 2 conditions to save his life. 1, tell us the truth. 2, don't give up the club.
Mm-hmm.
He spills the beans. He says it was all Borowski. And who predicted that?
Thank you.
Our host. You finally got one.
I
How's
got
it
one.
feel?
It feels good because I'm
It
never
does.
right. I'm
It
never
does.
right.
No, you haven't been.
and it feels damn good, Lurch.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it where I can get it, man.
I predicted that one too.
Uh-huh. And then he stabs him
Yeah,
in the
you
neck.
did. You did.
Yep. Then he shanks him right in the neck. He starts bleeding and he gives him a couple more. And that's the blood that we saw in that clip.
Yeah.
The Anarchy After Dark sneak peek when we saw the blood running past the chair.
Yes.
It took the 3 of us, but we put the whole thing together. So that's Juice. He's killing him, and that's his blood. And that's what it was.
And
It was.
I hope people are reasonable enough and have enough brains to know this type of stuff does not happen in prison that way.
Right.
They don't lure people out into wherever they were, into the little hallway place, the cellar.
Like a boiler room.
Yeah, a boiler room. They don't I mean, there's no way you can get, there's cameras.
Right.
It doesn't happen that way. If some type of assault or something happens in prison, it happens in the cell or outside at lunch,
Right.
It doesn't happen like that.
That is a very good point. Although we like this show, guys, and we have fun with it, we can tell you from our experience because we're in the LEO world, it is so fictional. And even the way the club operates, it's completely fictional. It doesn't really happen that way at all. Neither their club business or the scenes you see with law enforcement or the scenes you see with, with guards and things like that. It just simply doesn't go down that way. Yeah, they have people, and you'll see a lot of blogs and stuff. Chats. You'll see people saying, well, they have, people that contribute to the show that have been in an outlaw motorcycle gang. I agree, they do, but that's only to make sure that they look right, to make sure that they are somewhat functioning like a club, like as far as order goes, as far as presidency, as far as meetings go. But any of those guys, even an outlaw motorcycle gang member, would tell you that is not how it's impossible, because they would all be dead like on the show, and everybody would be in prison. It just doesn't work that way. You don't get to kill 10 people and bury them, even if you're in an outlaw motorcycle gang, and then just walk around free willy-nilly.
I'm glad Dustin brought that up because we haven't talked about that in a while.
It's been a while.
It's been a while since we
and we
talked
love
about
it.
that.
We love the show, but we know what it is.
It's entertaining. For us, it's entertaining because we kind of watch it, and I don't know about you guys, but I'll watch it and see some of this stuff, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that is just Hollywood.
Totally.
That shit doesn't happen in the real world, but
it is entertaining, and that's the point of the show, isn't it? As long as you have some common sense and understand that those things don't necessarily happen in real life, and just accept it for the entertainment.
In Sons of Anarchy, there's about 1% of stuff that actually is true, and that's like when they're eating food, that people actually eat food. Other than that, it's pretty much, it is a complete fiction, but it is fun, and we love it. We love it, and we love bringing it to you. But yeah, we haven't brought that up in a while, so good point, buddy, good point. So did you think that Juice, for 1 second after he made Lynn the deal, that, hey, if you tell me who told us where the Chinese guns were and you don't rat on us, did you think he was going to let him walk?
No.
Not a chance.
No, because Juice, the only thing that Juice wants in the world is to be back in that club, and if he has a shot to do it, he's going to take a shot.
Forgiven. He wants to be forgiven.
Did you guys hear this, though? Did you hear this right when Juice did the first stab in the neck? All of a sudden he does, he realizes, oh crap, you guys probably didn't hear this.
You button hooked me. I didn't know you were going to button hook me.
Did you guys? He did.
Oh, is that what Lynn said?
Right.
Oh, yeah, button hooked me, dude.
Yeah, I didn't hear that feed.
But after the third stab, he couldn't talk anymore.
Yeah, he just.
But right after the first stab.
You button hooked me. I didn't know you were going to.
That's awesome.
All right, dude. That was a button hook of all button
Yes,
hooks
it
right
was.
there. All right, let's move on, guys. So later we find out that they set it up and he was found in a hall dead and whatnot. Of course, Charlie Borowski, yes, I did predict it. And
Very
you were
good.
on board too.
Yeah.
Chewie was on board too.
Just
So
that episode where
there's
they
for me
were,
and Chewie.
Yep.
We haven't seen Charlie Borowski a lot in the last episode. So he's going to die the last two. He's going to be in the next episode. He's
gonna
got
be done.
to.
He's going to be done.
Yeah, I felt like he was something wrong with him all the way back to that scene in the shop, in the pawn shop, where he
Exactly.
smokes that guy way too early.
Yep. He didn't want that guy to have a chance to talk at all.
Mm-hmm.
Good call. That might come back up too. Now, Jax meets Tully. He's been to Wendy. He's got a little bit. He went to Unser, got a little bit more. Now he's going to Juice. He's going straight to Juice. And that's what he was supposed to. He's going to Stockton, where they're held up in jail.
Yep. And Tully, he has to meet with Tully first because Tully has to secured the room, so they had to bring him up first.
Right. That's what Tully tells him.
Yeah.
Which is Marilyn Manson, of course. And I don't know how much more we're going to see of him. 2 more episodes to go. But we'll see. We'll see what Tully does here in the next couple episodes. I don't have a lot of predictions on him or how that's going to play out. Have you guys thought about that at all?
Yeah,
it's kind of a
don't-
weird character that really hasn't been developed a whole bunch. It's kind of one of those characters that
He just
was
threw
brought
him
on.
in. Just threw him in and made him part of this last season.
Right. And
Well,
so
he's been pretty integral. I mean, he's been
Oh,
a puppet
yeah.
master and played a lot of strings and hooked things up. So,
but they haven't developed him. I mean, a little bit because he's Lou Juice's lover, but they pretty much just kept him the prison thug or the
Sure.
jail thug.
I see what you're saying.
So it's hard for me to make predictions because I don't see him getting out of jail.
No,
No.
ever.
No.
Right.
I think he's in there for life,
Well,
isn't he?
Well,
well,
no, it's a jail.
we think.
It's not a prison.
I think he may
Oh.
be involved in the end of Juice.
Okay. What's your prediction there?
I think he wants to keep Juice so he can keep giving him some of that love.
I love that little Puerto
That
Rican.
Puerto Rican.
That little Puerto
That
Rican.
little Puerto Rican.
Give him some love and
I think he
read
wants
some
to
Del Bonte sisters or whatever it was.
the Bronte sisters.
Bronte sisters, yeah.
I think he wants to keep him stocked in Vaseline and chapstick. I don't think he wants to get rid of Juice.
I agree.
Poor guy.
I think that's why he asked Jax, what's going on? Is
Yeah,
does this
that
pay
could
off his
be.
sentence?
Yes.
Thank
That
you.
could be.
Because he doesn't want to lose him.
I agree. I don't think that Juice was ever going to get out. I don't think Jax had that intention.
No.
And after their little conversation here, it's pretty clear to me because Tully asks him right before Juice. So where we're at here to keep it in line for the audience is Jax is in the interview room and Tully comes in first and he talks to him at the end of their conversation. He tells him, hey, Lynn's dead. And Jax kind of goes, are you really? And he goes, that is what you wanted, right?
Right.
And because Jax is like, oh shit,
Yeah, because he knows now that
that it probably wasn't
it
Lynn's
wasn't
crew.
No.
So Tully asks him after that, hey, he did his work. Is he still on contract? Has he fulfilled his contract? And to me, what that means is not a contract with necessarily getting back in the crew.
Are you done with him?
Are you done with him? Because I think Jackson Tully had something agreement that when he's done with his contract, Tully can have him. And we've been working up to that. And Tully is just really out and open about it. When he leaves the room, he go, what did he say?
I'll see you later, sugar.
Yeah, I'll see you later, baby.
baby.
And right in front of
God.
Jax, right
Yeah.
after he asked him, and he asked him, he said, is he done with his contract? And Jax goes, I don't know. So that, to me, that's my prediction with him, is Jax and Tully had something going on. Juice was never going to get back in the club. He was just using him as a contract. And as soon as I'm done with him, Tully, the little Puerto Rican is all yours.
Yeah.
Then maybe that's a sentence worse than death. He's stuck in
That
prison
could be.
he's a pincushion for Marilyn Manson.
A pincushion, exactly, dude.
Yikes.
So that's my little prediction. All right, so Juice comes into the room. Of course, Tully leaves. And that's when he said, I'll see you later, baby. All right, this is a huge scene.
That was great.
But you know,
Awesome.
I wanted to talk about it. So let's just roll down kind of what went down here. Juice and Jax are alone now in the room. Of course, we know the room's been bought. There's no video cameras. We're all thinking that. I kind of figured that. Plus, he had asked Happy and Tig to reach out to Tully and tell him to get a room. So who wants to talk about this?
I can talk about it.
Please do, because my mouth was full of a
Sorry, I got you at a bad time.
refreshing beverage.
Got you at a bad time. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Chili.
basically he goes in, Juice and Jax are sitting across the table from each other, and Juice tells Jax, hey, it wasn't Jury, it was Borowski. And then he said, I did everything you wanted me to do, Jax.
Killed Lynn.
Yep, I killed Lynn. I did everything you wanted me to do.
This was a heavy
And
scene.
then, there was a lot involved in it, and Jax and him are conversing, and Jax is telling him, hey, I found out Gemma was helping you hide. Why would my mother help you? Why would you reach out to my mom to have her help you hide?
Right.
Someplace. And he wanted to know about that.
I'm going to tell you in this particular scene, I must say, Jax did a hell of an acting job.
Oh,
He did.
this whole night he did.
Yeah. In the beginning, his acting skills weren't the best, my opinion, only.
You've
In the
said this
begin-
before, which is good.
In the beginning of this series, it was kind of it felt a little cheesy to me. I didn't quite believe him.
Well, he's in the chat room right now, and he says you're full of shit.
That's fine. Sorry there, Charlie.
Sorry, Charlie.
Sorry, Charlie.
Thanks for being in the chat room, Charlie.
But I'll tell you this, Mr. Hunnan. You have improved your acting skills. That was a good scene, and I felt it.
I'm telling you.
It felt realistic. He's got the tear in his eyes. He's worked up. It was good. He did a very good job.
He did. It was very
It was.
believable, the pain that he was feeling at that moment to
We
me.
felt it as well, which is a sign of a good actor.
Exactly. And
the
Juice,
quivering of his voice, the quivering of his chin.
the watering eyes
Yep.
leading up to
Crying.
before he cried.
Yep.
They had watering eyes. And Juice did a really good job too.
Oh, yeah. He watered up and cried too.
Exactly. exactly.
But it was great. What you notice about actors, both of these guys are fantastic actors. They really are. You watch both of them, and when Jax asks him about, he wants to know the truth, and he says, I think you know the truth, and I think that you can give me the truth about what's happened. And you see his expression, Juice's expression, how he turns away from him, guilty,
right,
starts crying, and then they converse some more, and Juice ends up telling him the whole story about basically what happened. He said, I went to your house that day, like you asked me to go find your mom. He said that when he went outside, when he showed up, the deputy sheriff, Eli was there.
Yep.
Eli was there. They were outside talking. They heard a commotion inside. They went inside, and Juice says the house was just a mess. It was a wreck. He said that Tara was on the ground, dead, and Gemma was sitting there on the ground. At that point, they were conversing. Gemma conversed with the sheriff a little bit, and the sheriff conversed with her, and he says, at that point, he killed the sheriff.
Right, Eli.
The way it was written, as we're going through the scene, I wasn't 100% sure he was still going to sell out Gemma because of what he said.
Yeah,
he said she was on the floor.
Yep.
She was on the floor. She was holding her. She was dead.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, oh, he's not going to do it. But in the end, we
and he said
did,
it sounded like, I'm sorry, and I didn't mention that. He told Jax that it looked like they had gotten to a brawl.
Right.
And that Gemma had hurt Tara.
Absolutely. I agree.
And the whole reason he killed the sheriff, and he's trying to help himself out here again.
Yeah, I killed him to protect your mom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes, and I agree. I agree with Lurch too. I really thought he's going to tell him partial truth.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
He finally gave his full confession.
He did, and got his little teary eye. It must feel good to tell the truth, Juicy.
It has to, because that weighs on your soul just way too much. So it's hard to carry a lie. It's much easier just to be honest. It might hurt. It might sting a little bit, but you just got to let it out.
Life is about decisions.
And it is. It's all about making a couple good decisions in a row. If you can't make a couple in a row, life's going to be hard for you.
All right, so here's an interesting point that I wanted to, before we move on, is Juice said the murder, he tells Jax the murder was brutal. He said it felt gangland style. And this is why they picked the Chinese, which a lot of people might have skipped over. Because we always wonder, why did they blame it? Why did Juice and Gemma pick the Chinese? Mm-hmm. Here's why. Juice tells him, hey, it was gangland style. It was very violent. And I knew if we didn't say anything or didn't pick a group of individuals, it was going to fall on Nero and Brown. And if it would just been silent, you would have retaliated against Brown and Nero because of the style of murder it was. You would have thought it was street thugs.
Yep.
And he goes, so that time I told Gemma, we came up with a story and we decided that we were going to blame it on the Chinese. This is when Jack really comes in and is like, you mother effer.
And they'd had a tumultuous relationship with the Chinese. Tumultuous.
Lurch says.
They had a shitty relationship with the Chinese.
You go.
Tumultuous.
Us rednecks, that's better.
You know what I'm saying, people. So it was easy to blame the Chinese because they just had that going back and forth where they shot some of the Chinese, they shot some of the guys. I mean, so it's been a very tough relationship with them. They were easy to blame.
Yes.
And believable.
Right. And they were the only other group that they could have based on.
Tumultuous.
That's,
tumultuous.
Yeah, there you go. Whatever you said. All right, so Jax tells Juice he appreciates him telling the truth, which I was like, is he going to give him a pardon? What'd you guys think when he goes, I appreciate you telling me the truth?
No way.
I didn't think he was going to give him a pardon either.
Nobody gave him the best thing he can give him. I'll make it clean.
Quick death, right?
Yep.
So
I'll make it quick.
That's as good as it gets. You're going to die, Juice, but you know what? Since you told the truth, I owe you, and I'm going to make sure your death is quick.
Yeah, we're not going to punish you. We're not going to be mean to you. You're just going to be done.
Now, to me, looking at Juice's character at that point, to me, it looked like, okay, he shed a tear, and a tear rolled down his cheek. But to me, I will be honest, it almost looked as if Juice had relief. Like,
oh, of course.
It's time.
I took that weight off his soul.
But more than that, he's ready to die. I believe he's going to commit suicide, which I still believe.
Yes.
But I believe that was his,
Well, he's already showed that he has that tendency when he tried to hang himself.
Yeah, I think
he's
going to
possible. Yeah, for sure.
And so I just saw that it seemed like, and they specifically meant for him to act like that. Like, this sucks, but it is my cross that I need to bear. Mm-hmm. And I am going to die, but I'm relieved, and I know that it's going to end now.
And if he knows he's going to die, he might say, screw it, I'll do it on my own terms instead of letting these guys do it. And he's probably tired of being Tully's pincushion, as I mentioned earlier.
He's tired of being rammed up the anus.
Hey, that
Yes,
can't,
he
I don't
is.
know. I can't imagine that. That's got to be bad, right?
Right. Totally.
Ugh.
So they're pretty much done. Jax gets up right after he tells him your death is going to be quick and leaves the room. And Juice is left to go on about his, I guess, figuring that out. So Juice, the next we're talking about here is Juice calls Gemma.
Because now he's betrayed Gemma. And
Yes.
Juice is he's opening up his soul. He's letting all his burdens out. He's come honest with Jax. He's got to be honest with her now,
Right.
so he can go out with a clean conscience.
Oh, he's born again.
He is. Hey. Oh. I don't know about all that, but he's trying to unload his guilt.
Yep. Right. Because he knows he's going out. Whether it's under his terms or under Jax's terms, which I don't think, like you said, I truly believe he's going to commit suicide. I don't think he'll let Tully ram him in the arse anymore.
No, I think he's going to commit suicide.
He's committed he's finished his obligation. He's done what he went in there to do.
Yeah.
I don't see him putting up with it any longer. I think he was putting up with the butt humping because he had admission. He had something he needed to do to make himself right with the club.
He got his behymen popped. Isn't that what you said last time?
His behymen.
It's not his hymen, it's his behymen. Not behymen, behymen.
All right, that's going to be interesting how that pans out. And Juice has nothing to lose. And here's something interesting that you guys probably didn't think about that I mulled over, because I don't sleep a lot. And so I lay awake thinking about this stuff, which is retarded, totally. And I'm losing my voice for sure. But I'm going to keep with you guys. I think Juice is pissed at Tully. How can you not be pissed at somebody that rams you up the arse and reads love poems on your lap? Okay. Juice has nothing to lose. Jax is going to kill him, he's going to commit suicide.
He's going to do Tully.
Now remember, he still has the shank.
Yes,
You think he's going to take Tully?
I do. I think he's going to
in
take
the middle
Tully.
of a lovers' quarrel.
Maybe cut his dick off.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, that's my prediction. My prediction is I think he's going to kill Tully and he's going to kill himself.
I'm with you.
I think he's going to kill Tully and then immediately kill himself.
I'm with you on that.
And I think I was right. That must have been some type of cement or glue or something that he poured down in the shaft.
Never came up, did it?
But it held tight. I mean, when he stabbed him in the neck, it didn't come loose. So I imagine it's some kind of epoxy, something to hold the blade in place.
Yes, I agree with you now.
Yeah.
Totally. I was waiting for him to take it out because he kind of messed with it after he stabbed him and looked at it, but I think he was putting the cap on, then he put it back in his back pocket.
He's going to need that for later.
He is.
He will.
He's going to secrete it in an orifice. Maybe he's got it in there, dagger point out. Old Tully goes in there for a little loving and gets stabbed in the junk.
Seriously, dude. Oh my God. Makes me hurt, dude.
Ooh.
That would be awesome, dude.
What
What a
I gotta
twist.
say, that kind of made my stomach hurt.
And he just goes to just ram him up the anus, and there's a big old dagger inside his bunghole.
Not that you could stick a dagger up your rear end.
That's
but
one way to split
Right.
it. That's one way to split a boner, I guess, huh?
Yeah, no doubt.
Did you guys notice? I noticed this. So did my wife. We were listening.
Is your wife listening right now?
Yeah, she is.
What's up,
What's going
sweet
on?
cheeks?
What's going on? We were listening to this particular scene, and after she gets off the phone, she's packing in her house in the bedroom. Wendy knocks
Packing her suitcase?
Yes, Wendy knocks at the door, very loudly in the background. There's a clock ticking, very loudly. I mean, it's very noticeable, and I don't know if it was just me noticing it, her and I noticing it,
I
or
only
if,
wish you had more time.
or if exactly it's like the clock's ticking is what I took it as.
Very awesome, dude.
Based on the scene too.
Chewy's
it fit
deep.
in.
Chewy's deep in his own
Strong
ways.
with you, the
Well,
force
no,
is.
really, it was kind of obvious. It was
Wait, put your weapon. I mean you no harm.
weird obvious. The clock, you could hear it tick,
Ticking
tick.
the clock is.
Help you again. Yes.
Ticking the clock is.
We got a
dying,
Yoda theme
dying
going
you,
today.
dying you will soon.
You have to do that.
Why wish you become Jedi?
But anyways, that's what I was going to mention. I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but
No,
yeah,
thank you.
I did. Yeah, what it was Wendy's knocking on the door, and it gets silent for a minute, and you can hear it clear.
Just
I mean, it's
nothing
tick,
else.
Excellent insight.
tick. Your
First of all, here's the deal. You come with a lot of insight.
Okay.
And I don't know that it's all yours. I'm thinking maybe your beloved is giving this information to
No,
you.
we both. Well, she heard it
Oh,
too.
he's backpedaling.
It's kind of like when you have an earbud in your ear and you're listening to somebody at a date and they're telling you what to tell them.
Yeah.
Is that what she's doing?
I wonder.
I think Chewy's just smart.
No. She did mention it. She goes, "Do you hear that?" And I go, "Yeah, I do hear that. The clock."
The truth comes out. He's a pretty fart smeller.
He's a pretty.
Chewy's
Don't
gonna
make
just
me.
get up and
Don't
leave.
make me quote to you guys right now.
No, good, Chewy. Thank you for bringing that up because I did not pick up on that. But you're absolutely right. There are subtle things that, again, why we,
Like her time is coming down.
which again is why we take copious show notes.
Yes.
And it takes me literally, last night, it took me 4 hours to watch this episode. By the time I rewinded it a ton of times, by the times I took notes, by the time I recorded sound clips, it was 4 hours. And that was before I watched Anarchy afterward. It literally, because we don't want to miss anything. And that's what's great is we all bring a little bit different vision of what's going to happen and or what we interpreted or saw on the episode. So, of course, Gemma, when she hears this Juice calling her saying, "I spilled my guts, I'm a pussy." He is a pussy.
He is.
Because he's just a
That
crying
big
little
old
baby.
fat vagina is what
He
it
is. The day he gets slaughtered is a good day for Sons of Anarchy in the show.
In the
we
show
don't, we
kinda
don't
way.
promote that kind of behavior, but I'm just saying I'm ready for Juice to go.
Yeah.
He's pissing me off.
I'm tired of that.
He's been pissing me off for like 3 seasons.
He's broke the man code.
Totally the
Whether
man
you're
code.
in a club or not a club, you just got friends. He's not a good friend to have.
So Gemma hangs up on him because she's like, you see the
And her voice, her chin's quivering. Just she's so she knows it's coming down.
She did talk to Wendy after she hung up because Wendy came
Wendy
to the door
came in. Mhm.
and they talk about their little deal. This is where she tells her,
Yeah, she's like, listen, Jax told me last night, told Abel that I was his mom. I just can't hold secrets anymore, Gemma. It's going to kill me. I just can't do it. So I told
what
him.
was significant about that to me? Was that little what Wendy said? It was a very interesting the way they video did it
Well,
cinematically.
I think it's because
It was meant to set something home. Go
to
ahead.
Gemma because of all the lies and all the death and everything that she's caused. Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I don't think Wendy meant to say it that way.
But she
that's
said,
how-
it will kill me.
Yes, and that's what Gemma took in.
Keeping all that stuff inside will kill you.
Literally in this instance, not just figuratively.
Did you see what was funny? Gemma immediately responds, "Really? Will it? Like, is it worth a try? Telling the truth?"
Maybe
And Wendy goes, but she goes, no, I mean about the boys or something. And she
Oh.
blew it off.
I missed that.
Yeah. So she was talking to her.
You're saying Gemma, the way it was laid out, Gemma almost had a moment of maybe I should come clean?
They wanted us to believe that. And here's how, let me set it up for you.
Do.
Because a lot of people didn't get this, I'm sure. So Wendy says, "Hey, I can't keep secrets and that will kill me. I had to tell Jax Jax, told Abel that I was his real mommy. And in turn, I couldn't keep secrets anymore. I had to tell him about Juice. All right. And she basically says, I had to tell him everything because I can't keep that inside. And so I told him everything. And Gemma goes, how'd that feel? Did that work? Like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. And so I thought all of a sudden, they wanted us to believe that Gemma was going to all of a sudden go, you know what? I'm done with all the lies and the bullshit. And I'm just going to, but instead,
Yeah.
right there, Wendy looks at her and she goes, I mean about telling him you were his mom. And she blows it off.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to get from that scene. I don't know if she was actually thinking about it or Kurt Sutter, the writers, wanted us to think she was thinking about that, but it got me.
Well, she's got to come clean at some point. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen, but I imagine this is leading up to some type of confrontation, and she has to come clean. Now, what Jax does with it, we will see in the next few
What
episodes.
kind of confrontation?
A deadly one, I would say.
What kind of deadly conversation?
What are you talking about? Am I missing a note up there? Or
No, I just wanted to see what you were talking about,
and
dude.
bloody?
You got to make predictions. You're on the show, bro.
I've made it, dude. You can go all the way back to our preseason episode. I already said Jack's gonna smoke her.
I have the notes, and I say negative. He
Whatever.
already. If you looked at the ending scene, which we will get into, but let's get into it right now.
First of all, here's
Let's
what
go.
I'm, no.
Get your sword out. Get your sword out.
What I'm gonna say is that is the ultimate.
I will
mean,
fight
a
you,
mother
yes.
killing a son. The force is strong with you. nobody can wrap their heads around it. We think that Jax
You're
can
saying
do it.
Jax is going to smoke her? That
Could
was your
you
prediction.
imagine-
There's no way.
That is my prediction, and I'll stick with it because wow, how powerful will that be? In the end, you will go. Everybody's jaws will drop. You go, holy shit, he did it.
Listen. I said that too, but I honestly, I mean, I don't believe that will happen. But I honestly said that. I think that was my prediction.
You did, so you're going to be wrong too.
Well,
And-
you flip flopper.
So you're going to be wrong too.
You're a flip flopper.
Listen, Mono. Listen, Mono. That's a wound that can't heal. Just telling you, Lurch. That's a wound that can't heal. You can't kill your moms. Could you kill your moms?
No, I could not.
Thank you.
That's why
Neither
I'm
can
saying.
Jax.
Oh yes, he could.
It's maternal.
Whatever.
But our situation is way different than the
Damn
situation
right.
there.
I'm just telling you, there. But the good. This is what I love. This is the stuff that I actually love. Is these little predictions and.
How about he's got her? She's kneeled down. She's crying.
Okay, we're not.
She's come
She's
through.
We're not going here.
He's about to blast her, and he turns it on himself.
Nope. Jax
I
won't
stick with
commit
my
suicide.
original thing. He smokes her.
Please
Him,
do.
Wendy, and the kids right off in the sunset.
Yep. There you go.
I've already said it. I'm sticking to it.
It's on the blog and it's on notes. So,
But I've
It's
heard
recorded in history, never to be erased.
her attitude in this episode tells me she will not kill herself. Her
No,
attitude.
she's a
in this,
survivor.
She's
She's-
strong. She's very like, I am right. I am right. What happened? I did this because I wanted to protect my son and protect the club. I'm right.
Look at all the death and mayhem involved in this club and this show, and she's still standing.
It's her.
That last episode we had where a listener wrote in, and maybe you have the notes, you can find it, but who he was. But he said that maybe we've got it all wrong. This show's not about Jax. It's about Gemma. Maybe she's the one that is around in the end.
well, wait, before we say anything, I hold your thought. Let me play you a little something
Okay.
All
that
right.
will make you think that the show may be wrapped completely around Gemma.
Gemma knows every truth, behind every lie, inside every secret. She's the gatekeeper.
That
But
was powerful.
But
I
what
actually-
happens when the keys are given out and other people can get through the gate? The gate's open. The gate's open.
The gate.
Jax,
Hey, the gate with her's been open since the beginning of the show.
Her gate can't close anymore.
Her legs have been open since the beginning of that
she might be the
show.
gatekeeper, but she's lost her keys. I'm telling you.
No, you're right, and I actually took a note on that because that pretty much to me sums up the whole series.
I'm going to stick to my guns just because that's the way we roll here. I said she's going to whack herself. I got to stick to that.
I
Okay?
think someone's going to kill her.
But I really believe that we are going to learn by that, what I just played, that little sound clip of Juice. And that little sound clip is when Jerry and Unser went to meet him. We'll get into that.
Mm-hmm.
But I really, really believe that Gemma is the gatekeeper to a ass load, and she is going to come forth all the way back to John Teller's murder, or not murder, but kind of murder because
His death.
We assume it's a murder until the Indian
His
chills or jury
Right.
says maybe he ran himself into that semi.
I'm telling you, she knows the truths. She is the gatekeeper. She knows the lie behind everything.
and she's
she
going to
is-
spill her guts in that last episode.
She
We're
is-
going to learn more than we ever thought we'd know.
When Jax goes to confront her,
Right.
she's going to spill everything. And we're gonna really, for the first time, going to realize that there is an assload more to this whole John Teller thing than we would have been let in on
And then she
to
smokes
this
him.
point.
Or then he smokes her.
You better stick to that.
I am.
He ain't
like
smoking
glue.
her.
Like white on
I
rice. Like
actually-
stink on shit.
I actually think that Jax is not going to forgive her completely, but he's going to get more insight into why she's done what she's done.
I think you or maybe somebody else said the worst thing that he can do to her is take his kids away from her.
I did. That's why she's going to kill herself.
So maybe she does. Yeah, exactly. So maybe you're wrong. She doesn't kill her safe. Maybe I'm wrong. He doesn't kill her, but in the end, she gets taken away from those kids.
You know, it's going to be
And maybe,
kind of
maybe that's her prison, her death,
her
or whatever.
ultimate demise.
Sure.
it's going to be kind of upsetting if she doesn't die. I got to be honest.
Most
with
of the
you.
fans,
I just do not. I don't care for her. She's a bitch. and
but
she's nasty.
maybe
But she plays that part well.
Very
Wow.
well. Very well.
Yeah.
Plays a good biker chick.
an old lady.
Yes, she does. Old Leatherface is what I call her.
Yeah, you do. And at the end of the day, I think that we've come to love to hate Gemma. All right. And I think at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, we may have a little bit a sorrowful feeling for her when she releases the full truth.
And that may be true because, like I've said, is that Kurt likes to flip the script. He wants you to think one way and bring you another. So that's good. That might happen. Just
what I'm thinking at this point. I got to stick because I can't pull. We got to have argument on the podcast or it wouldn't be fun.
Right.
We got to have. So I still stick to my guns that she's going to kill herself, but I think that she's going to really blow us away with what the real story, and it's going to start and it's going to be quick, right? Because it's got to be wrapped up. But I think we're going to see. And we see in the previews for episode 12, which is coming up, which is right before the last.
In 2 weeks.
Is Unser sitting in a room with her, and she's with boxes, and she's looking at pictures, and I believe Unser tells her, Jax is on his way.
You got to get out of here.
We don't know what he's going to do when he gets here. That, to me, I think will be the scene where Jax confronts her, and the truths and everything about Sam Crow and the truths and John Teller and everything is going to come out.
So maybe based on that, maybe Jax commits suicide. I hope not.
Jax won't. My prediction from day one is Jax is going to get out of the club. And I don't know if he's going to have the club all kill each other, but he's setting everything up right now. If you see it, he's setting everything in motion to get out and walk away.
Yeah, I hope.
And he's starting to care about Wendy. He's caring more about Abel. My prediction at the very beginning on the season opener was Jax walks away. Okay.
And I agree with that
Wendy.
because he's been doing that for a long time.
With Wendy.
It goes all the way back before he killed Clay. I mean, he's been working to get out of this club.
Yep. He's trying to make some rights with Connor. He's trying to make some rights, and he wants to set everything up. Some predictions have been made. He wants to take the whole club down.
I don't agree with that.
I don't either.
I just think he wants to walk away. I think he wants to set the club up to have a future, and he wants to get the hell out of it.
Beautiful. That is my thought.
I hope he doesn't do anything to get his guys killed or anything like that. That would really be
I mean,
he loves taking chips. I really believe that.
Yeah, he does.
No way. He loves those guys. They're his brothers.
That was awesome, Lurch, because you just said exactly what was in my mind. Right. My prediction, and Chewy, follow up on this on what you think, but I'm just reiterating what Lurch said is I totally believe he's not trying to devastate the club. He cares for those individuals. They're his brothers, but he wants to leave them in very good hands. He's going to pass it to Chibs. He's going to pass the presidency, and he's going to walk from the club. Now, how good would that be? Only, I know it's a TV show, but I really would we have a huge listening audience. Not us. We have a good listening audience, but we also have a huge following. Sons of Anarchy does for the show. And I know we have a lot of people that watch that aren't bikers or don't know anything about the motorcycle culture. How great would it be to go, your main character goes, it's not a good lifestyle. And it doesn't work. And it doesn't work for family, and it doesn't work for anything. And I'm going to walk away and do what's right. And that's take care of my family and my wife, Wendy, now, or whatever. My ex-wife. It just would be to me, I don't know if Kurt can ever go there.
I think he is going there.
I think
my feeling is he is going there.
That would be, I really would be happy and pleased.
Have you guys noticed? I think that Jax is going to ride away. He's going to leave the club and ride away. He's got his dad's bike up and running.
Right.
So, well said. That they do show that he's got.
So I think I think one of the very last things he'll jump on that bike.
What bike are you talking about? I know, but tell the listening audience.
It's the one that he's fixing at
the old blue one.
Is it a panhead? Old panhead? Old blue panhead?
Mm-hmm.
And then he said, "Oh, it looks good in the club colors." And then I had to look at the colors again and go, "What club colors?" Actually, the writing on their colors is blue. It's a really dark blue,
but it's on that gray background, so it doesn't really look blue.
Yeah, it's hard to see, but there is a blue in there. I had to take a second look at that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You're right. I think you're right.
It showed a couple series ago. I don't know if it was last season or the season before, but it showed Jax alone in by himself in that garage fixing this old bike up. His dad's bike that burnt down in the explosion inside.
It's been through 2 explosions now.
Yep.
FYI.
So yeah, I there's got to be something to do with that. I think that he's got it up and running now, and it looks sweet.
You know what's funny, and I made mental note of it, is through this episode last night, episode 11, is they keep showing that bike. Okay, Jax is working on it a little bit. I don't think Jax knows what the hell he's doing with motorcycle, whatever. That's a whole separate point. But
it's a symbol of his dad. It's a reminiscent of his dad.
but we keep seeing it in the background. And later, when Unser meets at the shop at Teller Motors TM with Tig and Chibs, and Unser shows up and Sheriff Jerry, they keep showing this bike in the background, and all guys are doing to it is polishing it. They're going to polish the fucking paint right off that bike, Lurch, because they aren't doing shit to it. And Chucky's polishing it. And
How does Chucky polish it with his nubs?
I don't know, dude.
He's got fake hands, dude. Come on.
It's funny if you watch last night's episode, though. I kept watching it in different scenes, and I'm like, all they're doing is it's in the background, and you know how they do with the focus, and it's a little bit out of focus, the cinematic type look, the shallow depth of view or whatever, depth of field. But they keep polishing that thing, dude. And there's some guy, you don't even know who he is, and he's back there, apparently works for Teller Motors, and he's polishing the son of a bitch. Can't get any shinier.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. We'll see, but I agree with you that
there's a reason they're showing that bike so much.
Very good call. And
he's going to ride away on that bike.
If it was me, I'd take off in that 14 Street Glide. It'd be a lot more comfortable.
Totally.
Yeah.
But I would keep that other bike.
Oh, that's
for
a
sure.
classic.
For sure.
Man.
Because it's your dad's.
Yeah.
And your
it's a
dad wrecked
classic.
on it, right? His dad wrecked on it.
I guess you can always get another 14 Street Glide. You should probably take the one that has some history.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. He knew that John knew that pan head inside and out like the back of his hand, as Jerry would say. He wouldn't have had anything. He would have noticed if something was wrong with that. Little flashback.
Yeah, you're right. You are correct.
That
Thank
was
you.
his way out. That was his way of not bringing down the club, he said.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, guys. That was awesome. That was an awesome little discussion there. So, all right. So Gemma heads for the door with the suitcase, and Chucky gets involved here.
Hey,
He's got some balls to
I gotta give props to this guy.
If you punch somebody with a foam
guy?
hand, it won't hurt.
We haven't talked about this guy. This
What
Chucky,
guy are you
this
talk-
Chucky guy.
Oh, you got
Nubs.
it. Okay.
Old
And
Nubs.
he hasn't he's been in and out of the episodes, and I looked his name up because I want to give him props. Michael Ornstein. He does a fantastic job.
Who Chucky is? That's who he is?
Chucky. He does a fantastic job of being a weirdo on that show. I mean, he really does. He acts good. He gets on that little scooter. Hey, and Jax tells, or was it Jax that told him, hey, follow Gemma, see where she's going.
I like how he rides his
He
scooter
puts
with a
that
3/4
little
helmet.
stupid hat on.
If he would have had a scarf wrapped around his neck, it would have been even better.
Oh, Unser tells him, but the guy, we haven't mentioned it, but he does a very fantastic job of acting.
And they've
doing that.
really worked his character over.
Yep.
This season, they've developed his character
Yes.
as one of Gemma's last friends, right? And he cares for her.
Yeah, he really does.
Gemma's good at that.
Right.
She's good at women hate her, the men love her. She knows how to use her strengths and weaknesses.
Yeah.
And she's got Chucky as her backup.
Lurch, I'm looking you in the eyes right now.
Look me in my eyeball.
I'm sitting here. You're sitting there. Just one answer. Do you like me? Do you like me overall?
Yes.
I accept that. And Lurch knows what's that about. So do you, Chewy.
And the kiss on the forehead.
We had a group me going the other day, and I put
One
on
for
that.
me.
I said, I accept that.
Here's the deal. Is Gemma later says that when Chucky says,
And
you're
kisses him on
Yeah.
the forehead.
What'd she say?
You may be my best friend, Gemma. And she says, I accept that.
Yep.
And we haven't heard him say that in a while. That was a big part of his character 3 seasons ago, 2-3 seasons ago. He said that a lot and it annoyed everybody. They teased him about it, but we haven't heard it for a while. And
Well,
they brought it back.
Jackson and him had a conversation this season. They were conversing about, and I don't remember specifically what it was, but he tells Jax, well, you guys are my family. I care about you guys. You guys are my family. You're all that I have.
So Gemma calls Nero. She's sitting in front of some church. And apparently we find out when she says, I want you to come over, right?
Yeah,
Do you want to talk about this?
She gives him the address. She calls Nero and says that she needs to talk to him. And
Hey, real quick, what do singers do when they need their voice for a concert and they're sick? Because my voice, I'm massaging it. Is that what you do?
No, I think you're supposed to drink hot tea and honey and
I did that all day.
and they do like certain
yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather, yellow leather, red leather,
Yellow, red,
yellow,
yellow, red leather. I don't know what that is.
yellow leather, red leather, yellow
People
leather,
are
red leather,
motherfucking
yellow
us
leather,
right
red
now,
leather.
you guys.
It's a tongue. It's a tongue twister. It's supposed to help them.
All right. Well, my voice is going, but I'm going to finish, guys, for you because I am pumped about this season. Go ahead, Chewy. Sorry to interrupt you.
Sauce.
So basically, Gemma's there at this church at the front door, and she calls and talks to Nero, says, I need you to meet me. And the thing is, there'd been, two of the guys from the club had come to Diosa when Nero was there. So Nero knows something's up.
It's a sad moment.
Are
you sad for Gemma?
Give me a moment. No, I'm not. But two of the guys came in, the Hispanic guy and the big dude.
Ortiz and Quinn.
They come in.
That's not Ortiz. Ortiz is Juice.
No, not Ortiz. What the hell?
I looked it up the other night because I couldn't remember
Montez.
either. Montez,
I was
thank you.
there
It starts with an M.
There you go, talking shit about
One
me.
for
And
me.
you don't even
Montez
know.
and Quinn.
So they come into the Diosa with Nero's there, and they ask about, where's Gemma? We need to know where Gemma's at. And he's like, I don't know. And so
Here's the climax. Go
he's
ahead.
kind of got a understanding of what something's going on. And so then she's at the church out there, gets a call. He gets a call from her, says, hey, I'll give you the address. I need you to come meet me here.
Right.
So he shows up out there, and she starts going off about, hey, this is where I was born. There's a house right next to the church.
That's her old house where she grew up, right?
Where she grew up, and he starts basically...
She gives the blabber.
Yeah.
Look at my sad story.
Exactly.
Her
And
dad was a minister.
Yeah, he was a
pastor.
parishioner.
Yeah, he was involved in the church. He's like, what? That was kind of interesting.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, as deviant as she is, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Did you notice when she was driving there, Chewy, she was listening to like Catholic music?
Yes, she was.
It must be some Catholic church or Catholicism of some sort. Or what's the break off of Catholicism?
Lutheran,
Lutheran,
yeah.
Something like that.
rebel Catholics.
Rebel Catholics.
That's
yeah,
what I
love
call us.
So she's there, and she's basically going off about some different things about her life, her childhood. And,
She's blabbering.
and
is what I
Nero's
put.
like, tell
She's
me
blabbering.
what is going on. He wants to know what's going on, and she ignores his questions, doesn't acknowledge what he's saying, continues to talk about her childhood and stuff. Well, his phone rings.
Did she get diddled when she was a baby?
Did she get diddled?
Is that why she's so effed
Was
up?
she an altar girl?
Did she get fondled when she was a young
That's
girl?
good. Oh, you got to hit the button. There
There you go.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to think about that really. But
It's not her fault. She acts like she does it.
yeah,
It's not.
I guess
Well, she's got daddy issues of some
she
type.
does. But they're talking, and Nero's not getting anything out of her. She just is blowing him off. She's kind of in a daze.
She's doing what to Nero?
Kind of blowing him off.
Oh, geez. That's ridiculous.
She's pretty. As from what we know from previous episodes of her, she's probably pretty dang good at that.
I'm not a father, but I'd like to speak to the fathers for just a second. If you want your daughters to turn out to be strippers or Gemmas, just ignore them. For the
Right.
love of God, parents get involved.
Yes. Yep.
Because girls with daddy issues are trouble.
Yes.
No doubt.
They're fun
Daddy-
for a minute.
Daddy done good. Yeah, go ahead.
But
Sorry, thank you.
No, it's all right. Nero's talking to her, and he gets a call on his cell phone. Somebody calls him.
Is flip phone?
Yeah,
Flip
as she's in
flip phone?
Yeah, his flip phone. As she is in mid sentence, and she turns right to him and says, "Is that Jax?" He answers it, and this is when and I was listening to Kurt Sutter on Anarchy afterwards. He said that Jax they had heard this so many times in the show, what is going on, that Gemma killed Tara, that Juice was there. So this had been explained so many times in the show. So now he made it to where when Jax is telling Nero what happened, it goes silent.
Powerful scene.
Yeah, it really was.
They set this up huge.
Yeah. And I thought something was wrong with I'm like, something just happened to what the?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, they did that.
No
on
doubt,
purpose.
dude.
And you can see his face change from what, I mean, he's going through a lot of emotions already because he's thinking something's wrong. And then you have this conversation where he's having it with Jackson. We don't know what was said on the line because it goes silent, but you know what was said because of his reaction. And once he gets off the phone.
What was his reaction? So let me set this up.
Okay.
For the listeners, and I know a lot of them saw it, but it did the old movie trick of complete silence and almost slow motion type, understanding of what is going on and a moment of complete That's it. Like, shit. Like the world has fallen on you. Everything I believed and everything I believed in and everybody I believed in. And it is crumbling. And the foundation just completely got pulled out from under me. And you don't know what to do.
Well, you know, and he's known that
that's a visual.
Her previous husband, her first husband died. He was murdered.
We're not sure.
Well, now we don't know because the Indian Hills thing.
We don't, but what he's information he has received.
Correct.
She had something to do with his murder.
She's a Black Widow. That came up in one episode. She said something about guys around me don't last too long, or
Gemma knows every truth, behind every lie.
There it is.
Inside every secret.
Yeah, she had mentioned that to him, and he says, "I don't care, Mama."
And his reaction to it really surprised me. I was like, wow.
What reaction?
His reaction of, "Hey, is it true?
Oh,
tell me if it's true."
Yep.
And at that point, he says, "You need to go."
Hey, and Nero's an OG, man. A little bit of self-preservation kicked in there. He's like, "You need to go.
You need to
go.
Like,
you need to get out of here because if you get caught, you're dead. Plus, I don't know if I want to be around you anymore.
Exactly. I don't want you to kill me.
Yeah.
I don't want something to happen to me when somebody slits my throat.
You don't get to be an old gangster by being stupid, apparently.
Exactly.
You know?
Right.
So
I'm assuming.
Interesting scene, hard for an actor. If you watch Nero, Jimmy Smits.
He's got that old bad hairdo going on.
He does, but he's not real talkative on interview shows.
Oh, dude, it was horrible, actually. I was like, holy, this guy has no personality whatsoever. But you watch him act, and he's
great
badass.
Great actor.
He's awesome.
He's good physically and emotionally. And
not good live.
Right.
You get him,
good actor.
You get him on a talk like Anarchy afterwards, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck to say to you guys.
He's like, that sounds
that's
good.
It. Yeah. We're just acting.
He wouldn't do well on the podcast.
I'm like, jeez, dude. It's like he was really nervous. Like he didn't know what to say.
I don't think he's nervous. There's a lot of actors like that. They don't do good live.
Odd.
And they don't do good with interviews. They don't do good with, they have to do it for the show for promotion.
Probably because they're so used to being prepped and being told what to feel, what to say, reading notes. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. So to do it live is so different for them.
And you got to understand these actors, they get filled with so much information. And like Wendy, she's pregnant in real life. She only gets brought back for a few scenes.
Yeah.
They don't even know half the time where the season is. They're fans too. They watch the show and they're like, oh shit, that's what that was supposed to mean. They really get put in a perspective of this is the scene. This is how you need to act. And they don't really have a lot of necessarily what the writer has. They don't have the insight into where is this going? Why am I doing this? And so it's very interesting to hear them. And so Jimmy Smits is like, I acted my scenes, but he doesn't really know why and where. It must be interesting. I've never been on that side.
He just seemed really uncomfortable, dude, in that.
I don't think they share with the actors that vision.
Not all of it, no.
No, because
they get told what to do.
Yeah, for a reason, because they're on talk shows and they're, tweeting and everything else, and you don't want to give it all away.
Plus, you couldn't advise them. You couldn't tell them what.
You can't tell them the end. You just got to tell them at the time, okay, this is what I need you to feel. This is how I need you to act. Not necessarily give them the set. Because I don't even
know if that's the purpose, Lynch.
And you know what?
It's too much information.
Exactly. And Kurt has said he didn't even know where this is going to end.
No.
He didn't know how long it lasts or how it ends. He just knows that now it's ready to end. This is what's going to happen.
And he's happy with it.
Yeah. So the actors don't know this. And you're right. They're not. We see the show. They probably watch it as well, but they only act their scenes. They act their scenes. They know what they know, but they don't know the whole thing. So yeah, well said. I think that's a good point.
Yep. It's a different world, and there's so much information, and the writer has so many ideas, and then you have to understand, which I understand a little. So here, really quick, Lurch, when we make a video, or Chewy, when we make a video, technically I'm the writer. I know what we want to make, how we want to make it, what the scenes are going to be, because it's a small production, and what I want the audience to learn. Okay? Small production. You guys know your parts. I'm in control. Kurt Sutter's a writer. He has other writers. Then you have several producers, depending on which is on duty. Then, because you see their seasons, there's different producers.
Yes.
Different directors. And then a huge play is the camera. So the people shooting the clips have directions like, this is kind of how we want it to go based on the writing, and we want to do this and we want to do that. But that can conflict with what the actors are supposed to. The way you record stuff on video or a videographer can completely change and so there's so many components. What a mess of an operation
As a producer,
to try to
then
put this together.
As a producer, I have to tell you that you did not tell me how I should have felt during the recording of the Victory Foglight episode.
You're not a producer, you're a chief's operations officer.
But at that time, I was an actor. I was doing the work. I was the one taking the parts apart, and you were filming, and you should have told me how I felt.
So
I lacked direction.
I'm going to tell you how you're supposed to feel. Okay. The next one we do, next video, me and Lurch
Tell me.
are doing he's Juice and I'm Tully, and we're going to do a scene.
Hey, I don't like you that much, man. No, I'm done. I'm out.
He's gonna have that look like this.
I'm gone. I'm
Dude,
gone. I'm going to turn in my business cards. I'm out.
Death stare.
We should do a
out.
little funny scene like that and put it on YouTube.
No way, dude. That doesn't.
That's
That doesn't jive with me.
That is horrible, man.
You need a step stool, anyways.
Dude,
And the pump.
no doubt. So Gemma leaves because Nero asked her to. And this is where, if you remember last time I called it, I said, there's a little scene of him sitting. I don't know if it's in a cemetery. He's crying.
Yeah.
Here's the scene.
Yep, that's it.
He just breaks down.
We thought it was at a school. Like I thought it was at his kid's school or something.
I thought it wasn't right there. The scene where they had the conversation.
No,
Well,
it
he
was.
didn't just sit right down on the curb and start.
He did right there.
Once she
Yeah.
left,
That's what I'm telling.
Yeah.
he sat down right there and
I'm telling you, we predicted last time because it was in an
The
upcoming.
clips that we
we
saw,
weren't
we didn't know
sure.
where he was.
I thought he was at his. I
It
thought
almost-
he might have been in his son's school.
his son's school because it had the fence around it,
Right.
the church.
Mhm.
Okay. Yep.
Right. Good
Yep.
call.
Yep.
So he sits Christ. Now, looking into it from the outside, you got to understand the devastation.
He's
why
in
he
love
just
with that
broke
woman.
down. Well, it's not more. It
And-
is love.
And
He's ready to go. He's got his exit plan. He's sold
But
his half off. He's got his cash. He's ready
What
to go.
half?
His half of Diosa. He's got his 150K from Alvarez, and he's got another 150 coming. He's got his plan to get out. He always had a plan to get out.
He had grandiose dreams
Yes.
of moving to the farm. He's already made the deal with Alvarez to sell his half a Diosa,
yes,
Mhm.
and he wants to go to the farm and drive a combine.
I think he's going to buy the farm, literally.
He wants to.
But I'm pumped.
He wants to. Yeah, he definitely wants to buy the farm, and he's got his grandiose dreams of taking Gemma with him and this live happily ever after bullshit is what I call it. So this is where Gemma heads to Abel's school, and she goes to now she's not supposed to be contacting him because
because of the whole CPS thing where
the
she
Child Protective Services,
right,
and so there's some sort of protective order
right.
in place.
Probably a restraining order of some type.
There you go. I don't really
Protection
think
order.
she gives a shit about the restraining order.
No.
At that point, no,
No.
no.
If she gets arrested for the restraining order, she's like, my son just found out that I murdered his wife. I'm good with the restraining order violation.
Yeah.
Just saying. That's what I'm getting out of this.
And she doesn't care because in her mind, she's leaving, and she thinks at this point she's never going to see those.
She's
boys
saying
again.
goodbye to him.
Yeah, she's never.
This
gonna see
next
them
part
again.
is powerful because it's
Oh.
something that you guys talked about,
Oh, it's
Chewy, you and your
powerful.
wife early on. We've heard some rumors that there'll be a series for the first 9, but you and your lovely talked about there being a, let's call it a second 9 or something, something after this. You
with
know?
Abel at the table.
Yeah,
Yes.
with Abel at the table.
Abel at the table.
Abel at the table.
Abel at the table.
As soon as she made that statement though to him, when she gave him, I thought when she was in the room and she opened up that jewelry box, I thought she was grabbing her wedding ring with John Teller. That's what I shot.
I did
she
too.
Grabbed,
I was a little ignorant. I
but
thought that
she
too.
grabbed a ring that says "son" on it.
The other thing I thought she was just grabbing a ring.
I
that
think it was
expensive.
John. I think it was JT's
It was, but
ring.
not their wedding
It's
ring.
his son's ring,
Right.
And Jax wears one too.
Mm-hmm.
So teacher, which is Courtney Love,
Courtney Love.
or right? Yeah, Courtney Love.
The Yoko Ono of
The
Nirvana.
yoga. I love it. God, she's hideous.
Oh,
And I'm sorry. I know she's listening, and we're sorry. It's just the angles of the camera.
I'm not sorry. I have total disdain for that woman. Her
she's-
music sucked. She ruined Nirvana, which is probably one of the best bands in
And she had
out
a
of
hand-
Seattle other than Pearl Jam. And then when they got inducted into the Hall of Fame, she showed made just a ass out of herself. No.
and
Can't
she had a
stand it.
hand in murdering her husband.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. She's the Yoko Ono
Mhm.
of the Nirvana.
Deep Thoughts by Lurch.
Yeah, she'd take a flying jump at a rolling donut. I don't care.
dude. Oh, man. I
Freaking
love
Lurch.
having this guy, man. It's funny. He is. He's Mr. One-Liner. I love it. All right. So Gemma's talking to her, talking to Abel, gives him the ring.
Calls Abel over. He's out on
This
recess.
pissed me off. I'm like, you freaking fool lady.
Yep.
Are you serious?
Calls him over.
You claim you care about this boy and you're going to tell him this is the ring when your daddy patched in, right? Your grandpa? Sorry.
Yeah.
And
So when you become
a
part of the club,
she has
when you become a member,
Well, she's gone. She wants him to have a family that's going to protect him. In her mind, as screwed up as it is, I'm not going to be around to protect you, but the club will be.
and that's how screwed up she is. She knows no other life than the club.
you know, I
life.
was thinking last
Well,
night.
she's been in it since she was 19 or 20, apparently.
But I
when
think
she
this
hooked
is
up
part
with
of
JT
the-
back in the day.
Right.
That's her life.
And I believe this is part of the writing, is that she's that effed up in the mind that she still somehow believes that's the only lifestyle choice there is. All right, so good conversation. Jax goes straight to Chibs and Tig, and he tells them that it was Borowski that ratted the location of the Chinese guns, so they're aware now. He tells them to reach out to Alvarez, who we know, Marcus Alvarez, is the president of the Mayans Motorcycle Club. He said, before we handle it, I need to handle a family problem first.
And they're questioning him because they're like, "What is wrong? You need to tell us, brother. What is going on?" And he says, "No, I will
Do it
tell
in an
you.
Irish accent.
You need to tell us, brother. What is going on?"
We need to tell you, brother.
Oh, there you go.
Man, Chibs is so dude. That guy, he has got an accent on him.
You
I
got
tell
to
what.
stick your tongue to the roof of your mouth. And
Sometimes he says things, and I'm
talk. Or
like,
hold it flat.
If I had a nickel for every time I told somebody that. Oh.
Just put your tongue to the roof of your mouth.
yeah.
your tongue
Sometimes,
still.
sometimes Chibs talks, and you're like, "What in the hell did
There
he
has
just
been
say?
times that
Did
I've
he
listened
rewind
to it
that?"
over and over and over
Yeah.
again. I can't tell.
All right, so let's move on because we have got a lot of stuff. So we know it's Borowski. We know that Alvarez is aware. Let's go ahead and listen in. This is where Unser meets with Gemma at TM Teller Motors in her office. This was a really, really powerful scene.
Yeah, it was.
Let's listen in, guys.
I can fill you in on that. Wendy told Jax that we were helping Juice.
What?
Yeah,
Well, why the hell would she do that?
not sure. He wasn't pissed off, though. He was just very troubled.
About Juice?
That and some information he got about Tara's murder. The guy you and Juice identified, he was in a Vegas jail the night she was murdered.
He's Asian. Dark. Wasn't him, it was another one of Lynn's guys.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, Jax is using Juice to get to Lynn. I'm assuming Juice got Dunn's name from the club. Am I wrong? I mean, was he with you that night?
No.
Well, when did he come to you for help?
You know, after Tara. I'm not sure. He just reached out. Called me, I think.
He just called you? Didn't you think that was a little odd? I mean, you'd be the last person I'd go to if I was...
I don't know, Wayne. You're gonna have to talk to Juice.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, Jax is doing that.
What do you mean?
Jerry got him a face-to-face with Juice, so he's on his way to Stockton now. I tell you, your son is determined to get to the truth. You all right?
Yeah.
Where you going?
Left something at the house.
Unser is
He's digging, huh?
Yeah, he's digging. He's questioning her and wanting her to give, he wants some information from her. And of course,
He's trying to solve this murder.
he is. And he kind of in his mind thinks she might be involved because of all the evidence where she and Juice picked this different guy. But he's not real sure because he's like, well, maybe the club put him up to this and had him do this. So, he doesn't really know at this point. And in this conversation with her, he doesn't know that she's guilty of murdering Tara, but he knows she's very guilty of hiding information.
And isn't he throwing some hooks out there, stabs in the dark, like trying to get her? Well, that's weird that Juice would call you. That would be the last. And then she kind of shuts him up and realizes she's backed into a corner.
Mm-hmm.
I just think this was a really awesome scene because Unser, you can tell, is really coming to the point where he's like,
And
I got it now, but I'm going to throw the hooks that I need to. I'm going to throw the questions that I need to.
You think he needs some final resolution? Like, okay, I know what I know, but I need a little bit of something to confirm.
Well, I think he's still waiting to have the physical evidence.
Well, he knows
the cop in him wants something to back it up. He has a hunch. He's got a feeling, which more often than not is right. But he needs some physical evidence to prove it. Something
I'm thinking
concrete.
In his mind, he's thinking maybe Juice killed Tara.
Yeah.
And so I don't think he thinks Gemma actually killed Tara, but
I think he thinks they both know.
Yeah, I don't know that.
They both know, and the club is trying to cover it. And that's why he hit Jack so hard at the very beginning when he called him a thug. If he cared about Tara.
No, that's not the beginning. That's coming up.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Which we're getting to. We got a soundbite.
But anyways, I think that he's kind of digging. He thinks the club had something to do with Tara's murder.
Yep.
Because Tara was trying to turn him in.
Well, I think Unser knows that Juice and Gemma are involved in her murder. They just don't know. He doesn't know how that went down.
Right.
He's got to believe that she's totally capable of doing it.
Right. And now, as an official investigator, he's throwing basically the hooks and the questions to reel people in.
And
because everybody needs a hero.
That conversation right there, you're going to have
a hero.
Uh-oh. You're going to get him started again here. Scrappy, god dang it. You're going to get Lurch singing on me here.
Sorry.
But
Unser's a hero.
Yeah, he's got all kinds of red flags going up after this conversation.
Go ahead.
After this conversation, any idiot in their right mind, whether you're a trained investigator or what, when she's making these types of comments and saying, well, it was still Lynn's club. It was dark. It was some Chinese person. Are you kidding me? You just pointed somebody out saying, yeah, that this guy was there. And then you're talking about a phone call. Any brain cell that you have would know that she's lying.
Right.
She knows something. She's lying.
I don't think that she knows yet, though, from her reaction that Unser is on to her. I think she did.
Right.
So he's playing dumb guy.
Do you think he's a streetwise Hercules?
I do. He is. And he's a hero at the end of the day.
Is he a white knight upon a fiery steed?
He is on a steed.
Sing it.
Yep, he's on a steed, all right. This we need to listen into because this is where I'm proud of Unser. I really am. He stood up to Jax. He's pissed because they didn't record. Jax obviously hired that room with Tully.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't record the conversation with Juice. Unser's aware of it now because Jerry shows up.
And Jerry tells him.
Lynn
is dead.
And I have to say, I'm the proudest I've ever been of Unser for standing his ground on this and telling Jax this is the final straw. This is where Sheriff Jerry and Unser meet with Juice in the jail. Okay, so let's go ahead and listen in on this little conversation.
I understand you're getting pretty cozy with the AB in here.
That's one way to put it. What do you want?
It's a shame about Henry Lynn, huh?
Yeah. Well, no one lives forever, right?
We need to know what you talked about with Taylor this morning.
Watch the tape.
Don't be an asshole.
Trust me. All I am in here is someone's asshole.
What'd you tell Jax?
The truth.
Why is he looking for Gemma?
Gemma knows the truth. About everything. Gemma knows every truth. Behind every lie, inside every secret. She's the gatekeeper.
Listen to me, Juice. If you know anything about Tara, you got a chance here. A chance.
I have no chance. Neither do you. Your heads are shoved so far up your asses you can't see what's right in front of you.
Yeah, and if you're tired of things getting shoved up your ass, maybe we can help. But we're gonna need some cooperation, damn it.
It doesn't matter anymore, Sheriff. I'm all done. It's too late. For all of us.
My first question.
For all of us.
And then you two decide, if Juice is coming clean with everything, why did he feel it necessary not to tell them what he had already spilled his guts to? He told them they have their heads up their asses, that everybody's done, that he knows. And he said, she knows every truth, every lie behind every truth. This scene is for a reason. And again, I go back, I reverse to what I said in the beginning of the episode is Gemma has an assload of information. And that's basically what he's telling them is you guys have no effing clue. us as the audience has no effing clue the dynamics that are behind this. What say you?
Here's what I have to say.
Bullshit.
He's in the mood of unleashing his burdens, but he still has an alliance to the club, and he still has an alliance to Gemma. So while he's going to tell them you don't have a clue, which is giving them some type of hint that they need to look at Gemma, he's not actually going to rat out the club, and he's not going to rat out Gemma.
I think it's deeper than that, but good call.
Okay.
It's deeper. I'm just saying.
I think that he knows Jax has some stuff to deal with his mom, and he doesn't want to give that information up to the sheriff and to Unser, because I think he still has loyalties, like you said, to the club, and he wants Jax to be able to find out the real truth about hear it from her mouth about what has gone on.
And you know what? Now, and I also had another thought. He's waiting for his quick death. He probably doesn't want to be a problem and get Jax mad again and not have that quick death. Maybe, I don't know.
Okay, good call. I like the different insights. I just think that it's way bigger than that.
Well,
I think.
Share with us, host. What do you got?
Well, I just think that he has a whole bunch of information along with Gemma, that Gemma is the gatekeeper, and I can't. He's basically saying, I can't possibly explain it to you dumbasses.
He's saying I don't know everything, or
No.
it's just too much to explain to you?
It's too much. And you know what? She knows everything, and I know it's big, and I know the information that's going to come out.
If she knows
and
everything,
you guys got your heads up your asses, so I have no time for
does
this.
Juice know it all, though?
No.
But
he
I
knows
think he's
Gemma
trying
knows.
to tell him. I think he's trying to tell him also. Isn't this obvious to you that she's the one that's in control of all of this?
Right.
She's the one that's running all this. You guys have your heads up your asses if you don't see this.
That's what I'm getting to, is you guys have no clue what she knows. She is the gatekeeper. She knows everything. We're all done. She's going to be the demise of us all because she has every bit of information.
But I'm not going to tell you. You have to figure it out.
Well, no, because I don't think
he says go
truly
to her.
knows.
Go to her.
Right. I don't think he even knows the depth of Gemma's knowledge.
He doesn't know the depth, but he
goes, I don't know where to start. And Gemma knows it. And you know what? She's fucked us all, and she's going to fuck us all, including she's going to fuck you both. That's my look inside that. All right. So Jax, Chibs, and Tig go to Borowski's bakery. Wait for him, right? Because he's not there. The gal that's working there. And the cops show up and are checking his motorcycle plate because Unser has put on an APB on him, right?
Right. I
For
was going to say,
assaulting him.
we should mention that Jax, assaults Unser there as they're talking there.
So good sheriff doing here?
She came to deliver some sad news. Henry Lynn.
Yeah, we heard. That happened before I got there. That's not why I went to see Juice.
Oh, well, guess we'll never know. There's no videotape.
Jackson, I just got off the phone with Hap. Gemma just slugged Chucky, and she took off on a blue Ford. What the hell's going on, brother?
I need you to call my mom. Have her meet you here. Tell her you need to talk to her in private.
Why? What's going on with Gemma?
It's family business.
Oh, maybe you forgot our little deal. I'm done helping you and the club.
This is about Tara.
Oh, if you gave a shit about Tara, maybe you'd spend a little less time being a thug and a little more time being a dad.
You need to watch your mouth, old man.
Oh, yeah? Well, what are you going to do? You going to kill me, huh? Is that what you're going to do? Add me to your body count? Huh? Oh, you know what? Maybe I should go into my trailer and stay in the kitchen and wait for somebody to come along and stick a fork in my head.
Oh! Jesus Christ, Jackie. Let's go!
Jesus, Wayne. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
What the hell was that about?
I don't know. But until I do, I want to tell her off the streets so no one else gets hurt. Put out an APB on Teller for assault.
That's what I'm talking about. Unser standing up for what he believes now. And he doesn't know quite. He's not lying to Sheriff Jerry. He's just like, I don't know, but I got my suspicions now, and we need that MFer off the street.
Jesus Christ, Jockey, let's go.
Hey, good job, dude.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah. So
good job, Chewy.
So at that point, I mean, that leads into what we're dealing with at Borowski's. When they're in Borowski, they're looking for Borowski, and they're there, and Borowski's not at the place. Tig comes in and says, "Hey, they're running your tabs outside. They're running your motorcycle tabs."
Right.
And so
here's the California plate number, Chewy, because I wrote it down. Of course, it's Hollywood, but
it is California plate. Paul Charles 1391.
It looks legit. I don't know. I mean, that
Chewy to
based
radio.
on my training experience, that looks like a fairly common California plate, at least for a car.
Oh, it was legit.
Was it?
I mean, it looked legit. Chewy to dispatch. Chewy to radio. Chewy to radio. Runs license plate 6 Paul Charles
check stolen in
1391.
California.
This is what it sounds like, kind of.
All you hear is 6 Paul.
6 Paul. So anyway, the cops are out there. They run the plate because of this APB that's been put out.
All points bulletin.
And the chase is on.
chase
It's
is
on
on.
like Donkey Kong.
So Tig comes in and says, "Hey, they're running your plates." So Jax turns around, runs out the back of Borowski's bakery, and that's the whole scene that we saw in the last time. When he runs out the door, he starts to run out into the alley, and just so happens that a Dodge Charger is coming down the alley and almost hits him. So then the guy gets out and is like, "Oh," the guy driving the car is like, "Oh, what happened? Did I hurt you?" And Jax pulls the gun on him and says, "You donut-eating son of a bitch."
Yeah, why don't you quit eating so many don't you fat fuck?
Yeah, you fat fuck.
Get out of the car.
And he takes the car from him and takes off in it. And so the chase is on with the police.
This is the actual song that I'm playing from iTunes that they played during this chase. I cannot believe they picked this song because I was watching this
That's
chase
weird.
going, are you effing kidding me?
Jack the
They should have
Knife?
had something heavy.
Yeah.
Jack the Knife.
They should have had a
Jack
heavy metal
Knife.
song playing.
Oh.
No, seriously, dude. This is if I watched this chase and I was like, are you freaking kidding me? So I'm playing this from iTunes right now, just a preview. This is the song because I Shazammed it.
Shazam.
I cannot believe, I don't know how these people think of what music they're going to use.
Yeah, that's really weird.
It's
They should have
gayest
had something heavy metal going.
song for a high-speed chase with a Charger.
Well,
Boom,
it sounds,
bang, da bang, diggity.
it sounds a little bit scattered, you know.
I'm still saying it's weird.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have picked it as a director.
I would have done like Drowning Pool, let the bodies hit the
Yeah.
floor or something.
Exactly.
Come
They
on.
usually do
Yeah.
awesome songs in Pursuits. This song did not do it for me. I'm not going to lie to you, but I had to bring that up. It was a weird, just montage of pursuit scenes with that song. All right. So anything else about that? He ends up, right? The
runs from the police, ends up going over to
Alvarez.
Alvarez's.
he ditches the police, right? Because one rolls over and
Yes,
does the
he
whole
does.
Hollywood
They-
explosion.
yeah, they
Hit the parked
wreck
car.
and-
Have you ever seen, by the way, a car rear end a parked car and do a barrel roll?
I know,
No.
dude.
I mean, first of all, it went up in the air and then it did a turn to the left and kind of did a counterclockwise roll. I mean, that makes no sense. It's
it's
ridiculous.
awesome for Hollywood, though.
Unless they had a skateboard ramp parked behind that car, there wouldn't have been a
And
lift
they
and a
did.
roll.
They just edited it out.
They edited it out. But yeah, there was a lift and a roll. So that's craziness.
So anyhow, Jax ends up at Alvarez's place there, parks the car, tells him, he needs to hide out there for a while, and Alvarez is with him. He's like, "I'm with
Do
you."
you think we should listen in on that, Chewy?
Yeah, let's listen.
Well, let's do that.
I'd like to hear that conversation.
Let's do it.
It's a good machine. Consider it rent. I appreciate the sanctuary. Anytime. Look, man, I don't want this news about Borowski hitting the street. That's our mess to clean up.
Understood. Saves us a hassle. Charlie's is an expensive hurdle.
I heard you and Nero signed papers today.
Yeah, we did. It makes sense, Our club's having a business together. We have to think twice about any bullshit that comes our way.
No, it's good we're partners. We should sit down with Connor, figure out guns.
And what about Marks? He's going to make bail after his hearing.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna need some help cleaning up what's left of the Chinese. And we'll sit down with Tyler, figure out territories. By the time August puts together a new crew, Black, White, and Brown will be united in Oakland. I'll make sure he makes the adjustment.
You let me know whatever you need, my friend. I'm going to take her right up to Stockton. They'd also know what's going on. Place is yours, huh?
Thank you.
So they're getting tighter. right? That's really solidified now.
And it's almost like Jax is almost leaving things with Alvarez. Really,
I agree.
He's leaving, basically building that up to where Alvarez can be the leader of.
And they have a good relationship.
Yeah.
With Sam Crow,
yeah,
who he's going to leave behind.
Yeah. And
he leaves all the criminal activity to the Mayans and not to the Sons.
Yeah, and let them take care of it. And he leaves Alvarez.
Let everybody else do the dirty work, and they can sit back and reap the rewards.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
And that's my whole point of setting up everything for him to leave and leave the club in the best hands he can. All right. So Sam Crow sits down at the table.
Yeah, they sit down at the table there and they have church. Because right after Jax meets with Alvarez, Chibs and Tig come in, and that's when he tells them, "Hey, we need to sit down."
Jax finally comes at this point up to in the episode. Everybody's pissed at Jax a little bit because he's making decisions and they all know something's wrong, but he's not letting them in on the truth of the matter because he needs to talk to Gemma. This is the point in the episode where he tells them everything.
And that is a great scene where he sits down at the table and basically lays it all out to him. And everyone's kind of in awe of, they're like, holy shit. What?
Yeah.
What? Really?
You just threw that all on us?
Yeah.
All of a sudden?
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
It's a very, very big scene.
So they're aware now. So we'll see how we roll into episode 12 of the season with that information that they all have now. So Nero and Jax. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I want to lay this out because this is very important. Jax basically lays all that's happened on himself.
Right.
He basically says,
takes responsibility.
All the murder, all everyone that's dying, all the lies, he says Bobby, the guy from Indian Hills,
Jury,
West,
names,
and he says, "This is all on me. This is all on me. All this death is on me."
As a leader, that's important to do. Yeah. He's taking that on himself.
So, and in that scene, it's basically like, and they're kind of like, "Oh,
taken back,
shit."
Mm-hmm.
This really does you in,
right?
But that's what what I got from it. They're like this, and his vice president.
Worried.
His vice president is.
I think it endures them to him because as a leader, admitting your faults and being honest with your people sometimes is one of the greatest things that you can do to get a bond with your people. I mean, you can't bullshit a bullshitter, as I like to say. I mean, admitting your faults and telling what you did wrong quite often will bring them in closer. So he was losing them. This has been a crazy season. He was losing his guys, but to come clean and tell them the truth is going to pull them back in, I believe.
Very well said, Lurch. I agree. All right, so moving on from that scene, as we're wrapping things up here, Nero and Jax talk. Powerful scene.
Very.
Both had to do some very in-depth acting when it comes to this, but I think the scene was very well done.
Very.
And
awesome.
Let's go ahead and listen in on Nero and Jax sitting down to talk after they both realize that Gemma is the one that murdered Tara.
The crew knows. Yeah. Where did she go? I don't know. I couldn't talk to her. How do I come back from this? Damage to my club and my family. My boy. Maybe it's time to honor Tara's wish. Yeah. And what about Gemma? I get the pain that you're in, Jax. And the damage that she's caused is just unbelievable. But a son killing his mother, Jax, that's a wound that's too deep to heal. And I know you, mama. That's gonna swallow you up. That's gonna destroy you, man. I know. That's the part that hurts the most about all this, man. I mean, after everything she did, all the lies, and the death, and the wreckage. I still love her, She's my mom. How could she do this to Tara? How could she do this?
Not gonna lie to you, I cried with Jax right there.
You son of...
Oh, I did.
You sucker.
I blubbered. He's got a good heart, deep down.
He's a turd.
He's a freaking...
You can polish a turd, but still a turd.
It's still a turd.
Can't polish a turd into gold. Not gonna happen.
That too.
Right.
Hey, Mark that down. That's a new quote. Can't
Thank
polish
you.
a turd into gold.
I got a quote now and then too. Thank you. I got a one-liner. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. So you got some things on your mind there, Chewy. I can tell.
No. He just basically
Don't bullshit me. You got stuff on your mind.
Nero doesn't want Jax to kill Gemma. He
If
really doesn't.
Gemma survives, Nero's going to be her saving grace.
Yeah,
Nero?
He says,
Nero's a hero.
He says that you can't deal with that.
You know what I say about Nero? I like his character. I've said that. Nero is the oracle of Sons of Anarchy.
Oh.
He is really.
No, you're right.
He's
You're right.
the oracle.
Yo, you're right. You're right.
He's the know-all. He's got the experience as a leader.
He's Jack's new daddy figure.
He is. And he's the oracle. And he says some very amazing stuff. And I think that he has a lot of influence on Jax. I think Jax listens to him.
Oh, he does for sure.
No, he does. He takes in what he says.
Right. And Nero knows.
And he says,
that's a wound that cannot heal.
The interesting says, he says, you need to take in what Tara was trying to tell you.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Time to honor her.
What does that
wishes.
mean?
Get out of the club. Get your kids
Was
away
that
from
Tara's
here.
wishes?
It was.
Yes, out like a trout. Moved to Oregon.
Get your kids out of here. Get your kids away from this thing. Get yourself away from it. Leave.
Let's get out, River Trout.
Get out of here. And he tells him that.
Which is
and I
my
think
prediction.
Jax is he's gonna respect that because he respects Nero. He likes Nero
Big
and
time.
he respects him because Nero's been through a lot of stuff, like Jax has. Nero's been a gangster. He's been into the drug stuff.
Been through rehab.
Yep, and Jax kind of sees him as, this guy's been through a lot of stuff. I can talk to this guy. I can tell him about what I've been through, and he's going to understand it. So he takes him, and the guy loves his mother, loves Gemma. So he kind of took to him and is basically, has a lot of respect for the guy.
Yeah, I agree. That relationship is going to go till the end.
Yep.
I really do agree.
And at first,
believe in
I
that.
thought that Nero would die, and I'm glad he's not gonna. He's not gonna die. And I'm
He's the
glad.
oracle.
Yep, he's
the
keeping
oracle could not die. He's
You're right.
needed.
Yeah, he is.
Too many people need him. Juice is later seen being beat up by guards. They come to his thing, right?
Take it to the infirmary because everything bad happens in either the boiler room or the infirmary. So he's either going to escape from the infirmary or his life will end in the infirmary.
Well,
we will see.
And the thing is, I almost took it as maybe Unser. I don't know why they would beat him up.
Well,
to get him to the
I see where you're going. Somebody wants to talk to him.
To keep him safe, to keep him from getting hurt, so that Unser can deal with this. Just like with Gemma, he doesn't want Gemma killed because he wants to be able to get this tied up and put it in a bow, wrap it up, and get it all done. And I think that's maybe why he got beat up. Otherwise, I'm.
Who controls the jail though? Tully.
Tully does. But why would Tully beat
Hang
him
on
up?
though. And what's in the infirmary? Loads of Vaseline.
Vaseline.
I'm just saying.
As Tully calls it, love juice.
Love juice.
Oh.
Rubber gloves, Vaseline. All right. That's, I don't know, but we'll see how that plays out.
In this, we've seen some people die in the infirmary in these episodes.
Yeah.
Tara brought in the dagger.
Right.
So that Otto, Kurt Sutter, can kill
That's true.
the nurse.
So who knows?
These,
Who knows?
so these things happen in the infirmary.
Absolutely.
Because I think I don't know if there's usually not a lot of guards in the TV movies,
right,
and shows. There's not a lot of guards in infirmary, so it's a place where people can take advantage.
Coming up in episode 12, we see a clip, which we're going to get into right now.
Yes.
All the upcoming scenes is Juice walking into the infirmary, and Tully is awaiting his arrival. I'm thinking this is where Juice is going to eventually take out Tully. He's got the dagger.
I think he does.
I think Tully wants to F him up the ass again. I think
And he's
that
not
Juice
having
is done because he's gonna.
He's fulfilled his mission.
I've given it up, and I'm not having it.
Yeah.
He's gonna die.
Yep. He's
He's gonna
fulfilled his
deal with
mission. I'm done with this. I'm over it. We'll see how he does it. I don't think he secretes the dagger in his rear end.
He secretes something. Tully might secrete something. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be funny if the weapon that Tully provided Juice is the one that kills him in the end?
That would be awesome.
Love is blind.
Yeah,
absolutely.
That little Puerto Rican's going to kill you.
That little Puerto Rican. All right, so let's finish out here, guys, because we are just about out of time. Let's finish out with scenes for the next episode, which will be 12. We're going to skip a week. So we go through Thanksgiving.
Gobble, gobble.
Gobble, gobble. So it's going to be intense because we're all awaiting what's going to happen, but there's plenty of time for people to listen to this podcast and stay up to date. That's why we do what we do. But scenes from the next episode, let's go through them. I already talked about Juice is going to meet Tully in an infirmary. There's a quick clip about that. The next episode does air on December 2nd on the FX network, so stay tuned for that. It does again show a past clip, which is the first time they've did that. They've never showed past clips before.
Well, I've got to say, the last clips we saw in the last one that showed Gemma.
But we brought that up. That's what I'm saying. That was the first one.
Well, we thought that this was going to be in this episode where she's putting a silencer on a gun.
Oh,
and that didn't happen. That was a previous one.
Chewy, you are the man. You're right.
Not till after the episode got over, I said they did that again to us,
and they've never done that before. Mm-hmm. They're showing us past episodes and episodes beyond.
If
this, right?
Yes. My experience tells me that if they show something, it's related to the show that's coming up. You know what I'm saying?
It's been that way for 7 seasons.
Exactly. So they're showing us that scene with Jury because it's going to be relevant to the upcoming episode.
I agree. But they showed Gemma last time doing a silencer, but it didn't come to fruition.
No, that was a previous episode.
Oh, okay. I got you.
They showed it to make us think it was going to be in this episode.
Yes.
But like we're saying, they showed previous.
Yeah. It's interesting that they're doing that because it hasn't not been the norm. All right. So Jax is shooting Jury, which is a past clip. We know that. Jax is seen with president of the Indian Hills, the redheaded guy, and 2 other presidents because I paused it and there's a president patch.
Yes.
Probably
the 4.
Oakland and Tacoma.
Yes.
There you go. Jax says, quote, "I was wrong. I lied." The president of the Indian Hills, now president.
The vice president now stepped up to be the president.
Correct. Says mayhem has to land. And this is where we get the information about there's got to be a mayhem vote.
There's got to be a vote.
Yep.
Chewy, what else do we see here?
Nero and Wendy talking. They're talking at the kitchen table. Wendy says, "Have you spoken with Gemma?" Nero's like, "I haven't seen her."
Which we know is a lie.
Yeah, he's lying about it. He doesn't want Gemma to die.
There's a clip after that, which is kind of after this, but it's the same them at the kitchen table, and Nero says all that wreckage is catching up to him, which we assume is talking about Jax. Right?
Yeah,
so he must be having
Jax.
And Nero and Wendy, without getting into it deep, have a relationship that's been developed throughout this season.
They have shared experiences, junkies and whatnot.
More of but not a sexual way that I see it.
No, it's like
more
brother, sister.
Father-daughter.
There you go.
Yep.
Shared experiences, junkies and whatnot.
And I think they talked about that a little bit in Afterwards, right?
Yes, they did.
In Anarchy Afterwards, yeah. It's kind of a father-daughter type relationship. So we see which is weird. Rat and some black guys get out of a black van, which is their hit van, right?
Yes.
And they shoot some guys tagging
Chinese
the wall.
Chinese guys.
Are you sure?
I paused it.
I thought
it looked like, well, to me, it looked Chinese.
Yeah, they all look the same.
Oh, geez. That's what Gemma says.
Come on, Gemma. Okay.
All right, Gemma. But they're tagging some walls and they shoot them up. Now, what I noticed on the outro of that scene is a huge, large Chinese sign.
Good on you, because I was looking and I was like,
I took a picture of that when Gemma was driving out.
No.
When they shoot the guys, there's a Chinese sign on the back of the wall.
They pan up and it's all Chinese writing on a huge sign like it's a business or a restaurant.
Okay.
I was trying to figure out that seemed random to me. I couldn't put it together.
Thank you. I can't either. I cannot wait to find out what that's about. But that it is a Chinese restaurant, and it may have been Chinese individuals that they did or Asian. So Jax is telling Chibs, here's a scene, stop worrying. I know what I'm doing. So Chibs all of a sudden obviously is very concerned.
Come on, dude, let's get this together.
Yep. Tig and Tyler and Heather, there's a scene, they're buzzing into they're, what are they doing? Shooting things up. Tig and Tyler. Mm-hmm.
I don't recall that.
There's a quick clip, and Tig and Tyler, they bust into somewhere, which I don't know what it is. They bust into somewhere and they are shooting things up. So I don't know if it's a building that they're coming into, but you see a quick shot of Tig, quick shot of Tyler, and they are shooting things. So that's a scene definitely coming up. Tyler's back in the picture.
Maybe some Irish. Maybe.
Oh, it could be.
Maybe. All right.
Oh, or Borowski. Let's go. It's probably Borowski.
I agree.
I'm guessing Borowski.
That's what I think too.
Now that I think about it.
Tig and Tyler and Sam Crow are taken out. Borowski.
It's something related to that, I would believe.
I agree. So Unser is with Gemma at a house. We talked a little bit about this. She is sitting on the floor going through items and boxes, almost like moving boxes. And there's a few things set up. So she's like at a temporary establishment, which I think my prediction is it's going to be her dead father's house, which she's trying to get Juice to go to. Remember?
Could be, yeah.
She's been trying to get Juice to go to it.
You're probably right.
I think she runs there. And there's boxes there from her childhood or whatever.
That makes sense.
Okay. All right. So that's my prediction, is that it's her father's house where she was trying to send Juice. Unser is with Gemma at the house. Of course, at this house, undoing boxes. He says, quick clip. It says, Jax is on his way. If he finds you, I don't know what happens.
Yep.
And scene.
Now, I don't know from this does Unser at this point know that Gemma is responsible for the murder, or does he just know that Jax is onto it, and is saying, hey, I think Jax thinks you murdered her, or does he really know?
I think a little bit of both. I don't know that we're necessarily going to know. I think he's on the right path. I think he knows what happened, and he wants to know, what happens if Jax shows up. He might be interested. Now,
I don't know if
I'm
she
thinking
told
on
him,
the
though,
fly.
before
Yeah,
that.
see, I'm thinking on the fly. He's been throwing hooks earlier. Perhaps he's throwing it out right now again. What happens if Jax shows up?
Right.
Because he's not 100% sure. And based on what she says, and he'll have his answer, whether she actually killed Tara or not. He's probably still working his way through it.
Okay, that's my prediction too, is he doesn't know everything yet, but we might find out
I think
that she told him.
Yeah, I think he's suspicious, and he throws a hook out. Either she bites or she doesn't.
Yeah, either she bites or she doesn't. So we're almost done here, guys. And Jax, this is Anarchy Afterwards. If you watch that show.
Yeah, they had a 3-minute sneak peek again.
They did.
And they've only done like 4 this whole season. They did a one before, during the premiere or just after the premiere. And they did another one about 3 weeks in. And they didn't do one for about a month. They did one last episode. They did one this episode. Might be the last one we get, because the next episode, I doubt they do one afterwards.
I agree.
Yeah, this one, unfortunately, not as informative as last week's sneak peek. Last week's sneak peek was kind of a big deal. This one, not so much. But why don't you go into it and talk about there's some of the things that came up on this little 3-minute sneak peek.
So the Sam Crow, the Mayans, and Connor from the Irish are sitting down together, and we see quite a lengthy clip, like Lurch says, but it doesn't give us a whole bunch because they are wrapping up. So Jax is telling Connor that August is getting out on bail. We all know that August is going to get out on bail, no problem. And he's too hot to run his weapons. All right. Mayans can distribute and they own the port in Stockton. This is what Jax is saying. The Mayans can distribute and they own the port in Stockton because we know Borowski's dead, right? Although we haven't seen a lot of Borowski, we know he's dead. And so basically what Jax is saying is, hey, the Mayans control the port now.
Yeah, he's trying to hook up the gun trade for Connor and go, okay, Black can't do it anymore, but Brown can.
Absolutely. And he says, Alvarez will be your new dealer. All right. This is the most interesting part of this. Connor calls Jax's bullshit, and he doesn't like the constant changes, basically.
Do you respect me?
He did. He said, do you
did,
respect me at all, Jax? And basically what this comes back to is Connor, and remember, Jax had to convince the Irish to have a black guy.
Now they got to talk into Brown. I mean, you're talking to IRA, the Irish. They want to do the white guy thing, and he's moving. Not only did he have to talk him into going through Marcus, through August. Now they got to go through Marcus, and not only that, he's actually telling him what he's going to do. He's not giving him an option. Here's what's going to happen. We're going to move him from August to Alvarez, and this is what we're going to do. He's not giving him an option. He's telling him what he's going to do. So there's a lack of respect there for a couple of reasons. One, because he's trying to get him to go with not a white person selling the guns. And two, he's not asking his opinion. He's telling him what he's going to do.
Right. Good call. And doesn't seem like Connor wants anything to do with it. He's pissed. He's done. The clip goes out, and he's talking about, you know what? I don't want anything to do with this little situation here.
And Alvarez looks pissed. He's eyeballing Jax like, what the hell? You told me this was set up and it's not going well.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
Totally in the dark on what's going to happen there. So we'll see. But my prediction is that Connor doesn't want the guns. And I think Alvarez and Jax are going to have a little bit of a falling out. But it all goes back to me believing that Jax is going to leave the club.
Yes.
And as we move on, these bike clubs have had some adversity, but they're really solidifying and coming together, all of them.
Correct.
You got white bike club, the black bike club, and the brown bike club, and they're all coming together. So I don't see them, the Mayans and the Suns, splitting ways over this. I think in the end, they're all going to. It's
a little road bump.
Yeah, at the end, it is a motorcycle club type show. I mean, it's based around that. I think when it comes down to it, they'll stick together.
Well said, buddy. So thanks for sticking with us, guys. We have had a lot of information here. We've got some extra content here at the very end. And my voice made it, guys, barely.
Hanging on by a thread.
Sorry for having to deal with my voice. I know it sounds funny, but I pushed it. And this is really time-sensitive content, so we really wanted to record tonight. I made it. I'm stoked.
Attaboy.
Barely. But after this little outro, guys, we are going to have a little clip. And it's some interesting information, but we didn't want to put it into the regular episode. But we're going to have an opener from Kurt Sutter. And then we're going to play a little, when they were doing after Anarchy. Afterwards, we're going to have a little clip from Theo Rossi, who plays Juice.
Right.
Neat little conversation. But we'll do the outro first, and then if you want to stay tuned for those little clips, then do so. We'll play them right after this. But call to action, guys. Don't forget to get involved in our Patreon page. Do you want to hit this, Matt? Because I'm losing my voice.
Yes. So Patreon, you can be a patron of Patreon, and that's at lawabidingbiker.com/Patreon. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you can pledge a certain amount of money per content. So you can do $1, $2, $3. But you can also set a limit on what you do. If we get crazy and send out 30 pieces of content in 1 month, you can put a cap on it. So let's say you put on $1 per piece of content with a max of 20. If we put out 30, you're off the hook. It's only 20. The great thing about this is it gives us some structured income, so we kind of know what we're doing and what we can afford to do, like
streaming live.
That's
cost.
Not free. It costs us. So we appreciate that. That really helps us out, gives us an idea of what we're doing each month.
Go ahead. Lab Podcast phone number, Lurch.
It is 509-731-3548. Or if you don't want to call long distance and you live in, Germany or Denmark, you can get on your computer and use lawabidingbiker.com/voicemail. And also, make sure you get onto the email club. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. That's right. It's lawabidingbiker.com/email club. We will not spam you. We will not send you junk. We will not send you porn. Well, unless you want it. And we just send out a thing once or twice a month. It's important stuff.
Keep the rubber side down.
And the shiny side.
Peace out.
Yeah, it was the most fun for me, and I've said this before this season. Jax, if you go back to my pretentious Hamlet archetype, that sense of to be or not to be, and the angst of this is who I am and this is what I do, and will the two worlds ever meet? This season he was singular in purpose, focused, and on this tear, driven by passion and revenge and love. And it was so much fun to write him that proactive without worry. There's no more journaling. There's no more, should I be doing this? It's just, letting the bodies drop. And, till we get to the place we got to at the end of the last episode, where some of the truth is leaked to him via his son. And obviously this episode tracking down the truth. And,
is Abel the only character that could have given him that news without dying? Because I feel like he is. Who else could have told him that?
I always thought, I always loved the idea that for Gemma, the ultimate comeuppance would be that her betrayer is the person that she probably loves and covets the most. You know, as much as she loves Jax, there's something about Gemma in protecting the lineage of her family and the club, and that everything she's done in the name of family and those boys, ultimately that's what comes back to, you know, be her, who comes back to be her betrayer, you know.
Listen, I mean, first of all, it's so cool. You gotta understand how cool this is for me, because, you know, we always say, and we've been on a lot of different shows, a lot of different interviews. It's like, I'm such a huge fan of the show, right? So I watch the episodes as a tremendously, like, big fan. So even when I hear Kurt talk about things, it's kind of really cool to hear it all. That scene in particular for us, for Charlie and I, the way we are, our process, the way we kind of go about things is, you know, we've been pretty distant for the last 2 seasons, kind of about the whole thing, you know, ever since, you know, the way it kind of ended and really the stuff with Clay back then. So when we went into this, you know, we walked into the room and we saw each other, and it was just like a little kind of quick handshake, and went to our kind of separate corners, and we didn't even want to rehearse. We just kind of set the cameras up. They set them up, and, you know, Manson kind of did his part, and then we just went in. And in all my years doing this, I know Charlie has said the same thing, it was a whole different level. The writing, everything was right there. The words, every single thing. It was everything we've been trying to get to, everything that we've been dancing around, everything was right there. And for me, it was incredible. Charlie hit, you know, 14 grand slams in that scene, and it was all there. And it's such an honor to play, and it was just so, it was a different level as an actor for me. So it was, and I just saw it. So it was, I'm really happy about it.
Oh, wait, put your weapon. I mean you no harm.